We getting over this hump together. That's me, Evangelist Angie B, Amazon International #1 best-selling author, mother, daughter, sister, friend to some, entrepreneur. Angie B is a mental health advocate, a motivational speaker, an ambassador for alopecia awareness, and media personality. Hello, everyone. I am the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B, and I'm honored to be here with you, a domestic violence survivor. She has endured physical and mental trauma and shares her testimonies around the world. Recently named by Contessa's Court, Women in Business 2023, we've been over some humps. And we getting over this hump together. Let's get it started.
Face is staring me in the face, and it's just me. No longer will I try to hide the demons that I've locked inside, for they're wearing me down, way down. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. I need you to catch me, 'cause I'm falling and I can't get up. 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 I'm staring in outer space. I'm lost without a trace, and there's nowhere to run, no hide. No longer will I fear. I'm finally facing my fears, 'cause I'm all straightened out and cried out. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Why don't you catch me? 'Cause I'm falling and I can't get up. 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 Oh, oh, I need, I'm falling, I'm falling, Lord, I need you, I need you, I need you. Oh, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Why don't you catch me? 'Cause I'm falling and I can't get up. 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 Knock and it shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Call his name, Jesus. Sing it now. Knock and shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Knock and it shall be open.
Hey there, family. It's me, the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B, and I just got finished going through some paperwork that we've had for what I thought was a couple of years, but looking at the dates, I realized it's been about a decade. But I was just going through some paperwork that we had saved from the Moms in Ministry, some news articles, and some aspects that I thought would be important to share during the Moms in Ministry workshops. Now, this next article I'm going to read to you came from the Sunday edition of the Daytona Beach News Journal, and it was published on May 5th, 2013. 2013. And the article says local officials question unwed birth figures from the census. Now, what does this have to do with anything? You'll find out in a minute. I'm going to read you some of these statistics and some of this information, and I want us to collectively consider if things have improved in the more than a decade that it's been since this article was published. It was written by Ann Martin, the education writer of the newspaper. And it talks about Flagler County, Florida, where women who had babies in 2011 were more likely to be married than any other part of the state, according to a new U.S. Census figure. But local officials say that that is unlikely to be a true picture of the county's recent mothers. Okay. The Palm Coast area posted the smallest portion of birth to unmarried women, 6.2% in the state, according to this same survey. The Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach area in Florida, which encompasses Volusia County, recorded that 42% of its births were to unmarried mothers. 42% were unmarried mothers. Women who are Black or Hispanic from low-income households younger than the age of 25 and had less than a high school diploma were less likely to be married than others when they had children. Again, this was according to the census data. The data was part of the American Community Survey, an ongoing survey that contacts about 1/38 of the population yearly. Recipients are asked to respond online or by mail. Those who don't complete the survey receive a call or a personal visit from census staff. Some officials think the Flagler statistic is off, but it is estimated that about a third of the women who receive prenatal care through the health department, which serves women who are on Medicaid or who are uninsured, that a third of these women are unmarried. The article goes on to talk about babies. Few babies actually are born in Flagler County. Most of them are born in Volusia or St. Johns County. So census data is gathered through a survey that asks women where they live, not where they had their baby, according to census officials. Data from the Flagler Department of Health paints a different picture. 46% of Flagler babies were born to unmarried women in 2011, but in Volusia County, 52% of babies had unmarried mothers. That was 52%. The data is collected from the original birth certificates. Also, the number of women who aren't married when they bear children is growing. In 1990, an unmarried woman accounted for 32% of unmarried births in Florida, according to the state health department. But in 2011, it was 48%. Hmm. It looks like a giant leap. Yeah. The then executive director of Healthy Start of Flagler and Volusia counties cautions that data from 1 year, especially from a small county like Flagler, may be unreliable. Any change, she says, often looks like a giant leap. She added that about half the Florida women who have babies are on Medicaid, and it's easy for women to qualify for the program if they're single. It's actually not cost beneficial for women to get married. Healthcare providers administer Healthy Start screening for pregnant women to identify those at risk for poor birth health or developmental outcomes. Single parenthood is one of many possible risk factors for babies. Wonder why. Again, this is an article from the Daytona Beach News Journal, printed in May of 2013. A lot of unmarried women still have an involved partner. In Daytona Beach, they see a lot of women who are unmarried but are still in stable relationships. It was stated that they think a significant number of people who are not wed at the time of having their first or second baby, most of these patients do have an involved significant other. She doesn't ask why the unmarried patients have not tied the knot. Why? The response was, we don't explore that because we don't want to appear to be judgmental or discourage them from coming back for prenatal care. There are wide-ranging reasons why women are unmarried when they have children, including weakened social stigmas against single mothers, people becoming sexually active at younger ages, and professional women who decide they don't need to marry before having a baby. There are many factors that affect children as they grow up. I think as long as a child feels secure and loved and is nurtured and educated, that's our goal in the long run. Having a child feel secure, loved, nurtured, and educated. Our question to you is, can that be done in a single parent household where there may or may not be mental health challenges? It's me, the Queen Bee Evangelist Angie B., founder of the Moms in Ministry workshop and the producer of this program, proud supporter of Maternal Matters Favored and of healthy parents with mental health challenges. That's it. Amen.
A lot of individuals want to know what is postpartum and perinatal mood disorders, which we call PMAD. Well, it's forms of, once more, anxiety, depression, OCD. Some individuals have PTSD from having some traumatic experiences during pregnancy or even giving birth. It's psychosis, it's also panic disorders and things to that effect. And so some of the risk factors for PMAD is having a previous history of depression, a family history of depression, having a history of substance use disorders, and along with a host of other different things. But there's hope. There's hope through little things like yoga, meditation, prayer, counseling, and there are some medication assistance treatment programs as well. So once more, when we think about perinatal and postpartum mood disorders, anxiety, depression, psychosis, OCD, PTSD, just know that you don't have to combat this silent crisis alone. You do have a tribe that cares, because once more, we know that there is no manual to parenthood. Good morning. My name is Tam, and I'm from Maternal Matters Favored, and I'm the founder and president. And the reason why I started this organization is because 22 years ago, I went through perinatal anxiety that spiraled into postpartum anxiety and depression that led to levels of psychosis during which I encountered some very dark times in my life. And so for me, as a believer of Christ, I wanted to make certain that I am able to help another individual who too may be going through levels of anxiety and depression, levels of OCD, and just really don't have the support that's needed, whether that's there in the home or even possibly in their local communities. For me, we're a tribe and we're to help each other out. And so this is what Maternal Matters Favored we do. We provide workshops, we provide counseling, we also provide a support group, and then we have a life skills program, which is what we're doing here right now with 24 hours of Favored. We are working to raise funds and awareness for our life skills program.
Hey, peace, Thunder, what's happening, homie?
Thank you, God.
I got a special friend with me in the booth. Miss Miraculous. Woke up this morning and I'm grateful for another day. Before I get my day started, gotta hit my knees and pray. Psalm 23, yeah, that's how I start my day. Lord, order my steps and please guide the way. The only reason that I'm here is because of His grace. Took my sins and wiped them clean, I didn't leave a trace. When people say they blessed, they usually talk materialistic. If you woken up, you blessed simply cause you breathing. I know sometimes that's the opposite of how you feeling, but manifestation comes by how you speak it. Your attitude determines your altitude. Learn that from Steve Harvey. Taste and see the Lord is good like a cup of coffee. That's why I wake up, giving thanks early in the morning. That's why I'm turned up at the church on that Sunday morning. We all blessed, we just got different meanings, different reasons. When you look at your glass, how you see it. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. No stress, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning, man, I'm feeling blessed. No stress, I'm feeling blessed.
Woke up this morning and I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and I'm feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and I'm feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed. Thank you, God, for opening our eyes each day. Keep us safe on our walk. In return, we pray. Show us vision of promise and give us the strength. Pave the way, we can do anything. Put our faith in you, so we have no fears. That's aside with us through our joys and tears. Feel the joy and we so rejoice. So we gon' lift our voice for you. Woke up this morning so grateful and beautiful.
Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this Ever since a young in the Lord, been working in my favor. Fast forward to now, I'm here because it's grace and favor. The truth is, without a Marvin Sapp, I never would've made it. I see his blessings moving daily. Woo, elevator, kept me alive on the ventilator. Devil had a hand on the detonator. Should've drowned in that pool at a young age, but his plans was greater. Should've been paralyzed in 05, should've been dead on 75. Drop it with suspended license, should've been locked up for 6 days. Survivor attack without a scrape, no need for a band-aid. Devil looking crazy, mad face, gotta keep running my race. Devil keep it moving, get up out of my face. Speaking to existence today, gon' be a blessed day.
Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed.
Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. Woke up this morning and we feeling blessed. No stress, we feeling blessed.
We feeling blessed, yeah. We feeling blessed. We feeling blessed, yeah.
Sitting here all alone, no one to pick up the phone, and it's just me, just me. The problem that I have to face is staring me in the face, and it's just me, just me. No longer will I try to hide the demons that I've locked inside, for they're wearing me down, way down. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. I need you to catch me, 'cause I'm falling and I can't get up. 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 I'm staring in outer space. I'm lost without a trace, and there's nowhere to run, no hide. No longer will I fear. I'm finally facing my fears, 'cause I'm all straight out and cried out. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Why don't you catch me? 'Cause I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm 'cause I'm falling and I can't get up. 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 Knock and it shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Call his name, Jesus. Sing it now. Knock and shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Knock and it shall be
I made many mistakes and I'm still trying to find my way. Yeah, now I done did my whole thing and done made a mess of things. But through it all, you still standing there. I see you really care, you still standing there. Though I heard you call my name, but I still think that I got time. Brought me from a long way, but there's issues in my mind. Oh, here we go again, on the same road again. Oh Lord, please step in. I shouldn't be running when you save me from what I'm running from. Sometimes I'm scared that I'm not worthy of your love. Lord, here's my issues, I'll step aside. Do what you do, just know that I'm right beside you. See my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, and so when I call, been there through it all. You for real love me. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, and so when I call, been there through it all. You for real love me. You thought enough for me to save my life. That you knew that I couldn't repay the price. You stood by and watched me live my best life. And now I'm here because I'm surrendering my life. I'll tell everyone I know to call your name. But when you show up, you come to bring about a change. That feeling you get when you call on your name. Somebody call your name. Jesus. I know I failed so many tests, but I'm here now, giving you my best. Redeem the time, take care of the rest. It's nobody but you. If it had not been for you, oh Lord. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, and so when I call, been let through it all. You for real love me. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, and so when I call, been there through it all. You for real love me. You for real love me. I don't need nobody else. No one can love me still. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, and so when I call, been there through it all. You for real love me. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real.
Girl, come on over here, sit down by me.
For what?
Girl, you know Prophet Malachi? Yeah, girl, I heard some stuff. Girl, you ain't call me back.
Attention, service is the order.
Who is them?
Scared.
Girl, shut up.
Anybody have
Service
a
at the stone.
I
Shut
do,
up.
Pastor.
Shut up.
Oh, come on and testify, brother. Testify, prophet.
I know
Praise the
Malachi
Lord.
now.
Before I get started, I want to say that this ain't for
What?
the sake of the church folks that's deep. Forgive me. We all got a process. Pray for me.
I know
Let's go.
he ain't.
Never forget where you used to be. Musicians, you got
If
it.
it
Was for God, there goes
I know he ain't gonna sing that
Sake
song.
for the church folks that's deep.
Sit him down, Pastor.
Y'all got a process. Pray for me.
What?
Never forget where you used to be. If it wasn't for God,
I
there
know
goes
he ain't gonna sing that song.
but God. If it wasn't for God, that could be me.
He got a point. He got a point.
But God, if it wasn't for God, there goes me. This is for the one that's on the corner, trying to live a life that he don't wanna. See, life that took him down another way, and you know that it's choices that he don't wanna make. But what would you do when there's no food to eat? You watch your mother struggle just to provide to me. If God really loved him, will he leave him there? There was nights that he cried, but do you really care? Or can we take a look at it another way? He let you live just to see another day. So come unto him, he'll take your burdens away. Give it to him, he'll show you a different way. This ain't for the church folks that's deep.
What?
We all got a process, pray for me.
I know he ain't.
Never forget where you used to be. If it was for God, there goes me.
I know he ain't gonna sing that
This ain't
song.
for the church folks that's deep. We all got a process, pray for me. Never forget where you used to be. If it wasn't for God, there goes me. But God, if it wasn't for God, that could be me. But God, if it wasn't for God, there goes me. See, there was a girl that worked the streets. She was looking for someone to provide her needs. Abandoned soul at a young age. She was waiting for the day to be a kid again. See, she had dreams, but she was in too deep. Misplaced affection caused her to take her leaps. See, here is the drugs, I swear she's finding her love. It loves all the pain, but she is praying for change. But can we take a look at this another way? He's protected her from so many other things. But first you gotta choose to let God do what he do. He's waiting on you just to make you brand new. Go. This ain't for the church folks that's deep. We all got a process,
I
pray
know
for
he
me.
ain't.
Never forget where you used to be. If it was for God,
I
there
know he
goes
ain't gonna
me.
sing that song.
This ain't for the church folks that's deep. We all got a process, pray for me. Never forget where you used to be. If it wasn't for God, there goes me.
Thank you.
But God,
Thank
if
you.
it wasn't for God, that could be me.
You know,
Thank
I
you.
can't believe Pastor.
But God,
What you complaining
Go,
about
let him
now?
sing that song.
for God, there goes me.
You know, he got a point. He got a point. We all come from somewhere.
Yes, we do.
But he ain't have to come in here and say it.
Girl, shut
God, Pastor Prophet Malachi. So opinion.
It's a prophet.
Come on, little man. Time to go.
Why I always got to go with you? I don't want to go.
Don't leave me on this road alone. Huh. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. This road seems like I'm on, has no end. Seems like I'm falling, little I failed again. You told me to go left, I chose to go right. I was at the crossroads in my life. I know I should trust you in all things, because you have carried me through all things. Faith is not where it should be. My heart just takes over me, and I keep fighting what you're spoken over me. Please stop the rain from falling, so I can see clearly my calling. I know that I'll have my days and maybe even my ways, but don't leave me on this road alone, alone. Don't leave me on this road alone. Huh. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me. Did my chances in my life, Lord, pass me by? In my disobedience, did I forfeit my rights? I'm calling you Savior. I need you here, it's major. I'm here all alone, nobody but me. I brought my peace this evening, what I don't want you to see. My lowest parts, my broken heart, the tears that stay. When all else fails, only you remain. Don't leave leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me on this road alone. Lord, cover me, cover me. Lord, cover me, cover me. Lord, don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Please don't leave me on this road alone. Lord, cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me how you found me. Don't leave me like this, Lord. Cover me, Lord, cover me.
Hey there, family. It's me, the Queen Bee, Evangelist Angie B, and you have logged on just in time for today's episode of Moms in Ministry. Moms in Ministry is celebrating 11 years of bringing the gospel of Jesus Christ to the world as only a mom can do. So today's conversations come from mothers, grandmothers, aunts, sisters, and other mother figures. We've got some questions, we've got some comments, and I've got 2, maybe 3 very special guests that are joining us today. So first of all, why am I dressed the way I am? I got on my nightcap, I got on my, reading specs, and I put on some rouge and some red lipstick. I am representing the grandmothers. We have some questions from some grandmothers that are tired of the way things are happening, and they have sent in their comments, so I'm going to be addressing those very shortly. So before we come in with our guests, I have a very special reflective video I'd like to share. It gives you just a little bit of our decades-long history and why we have the Moms in Ministry. So enjoy. I guess you can say the workshop began with my mom. Well, maybe it began with her mom and continued as my grandmother prepared my mother to be a wife and a mother. My mother was assisted by grandmothers, extended grandmothers. Somebody had to teach her how to feed me. And then she was there when my firstborn came into this world. And now, she's grown. I also gave her a little sister to play with. And that little sister grew into a magnificent woman who even gave me away at my wedding. The Moms in Ministry events needed to be showcased, and so Angie B Presents on YouTube and Facebook was created. The Moms in Ministry needed to be funded. So Angie B Productions was founded to produce media and financially support the ministry, the Moms in Ministry. You see, there was the tour that Angie B Presents. It was a Christian rap tour that traveled the country presenting the gospel of Jesus Christ to youth and young adults through holy hip-hop music. As a result of the Christian rap tour, several young women started asking questions that only a mother could answer. They wanted the mothers to give it to them straight with no chaser. And because of that request, the Moms in Ministry was born. On January 19th, 2013, I was joined by 2 additional mothers. We were hosted by my pastor and congregation, and the Moms in Ministry was born as a result of the tour that Angie B Presents. From that day on, the Moms in Ministry added additional mothers. I was invited to speak for other ministries. We included local information. We allowed teens and young adults to ask their questions. We always opened with prayer, and we always gave God praise throughout the event. Presenters not only shared their testimonies, but we were also able to engage the attendees because they shopped with vendors. I think the most important part of the Moms in Ministry workshop is that we not only came in sharing our wisdom and knowledge to mothers, but we also shared with the children that attended. There were gift baskets. People donated baby food and clothing, and sometimes we just spent time with the little ones. Mothers would come with their children, and sometimes they needed respite, and the wisdom of the bishops always blessed us. These are images from Moms in Ministry, August 10th, 2013. Now that date is significant. I'll come back to you and tell you more about that in just a minute. Each Moms in Ministry gave out clothing and baby food and gifts and Bibles. We brought in presenters and had breakout workshops where people could watch videos and learn about local information that they needed to know about. Now, back to that 2013 date that was so significant. Reverend Dawn Martin was there. She was one of our presenters. She can testify to the wedding that took place the day before that workshop. Working with Reverend Dawn allowed us to help her to launch her Divas by Design radio show. The Moms in Ministry workshop continued to travel. Along with the tour that Angie B Presents, a radio station was launched just for us. Now, let me show you a little bit about the first book that was written as a result of the Moms in Ministry workshop.
Ma.
We parents need to understand that our children may know the pitfalls that we taught them, yet they will sometimes have to drag themselves out of their own pits in order to learn to reach up for God instead of reaching up for us, steering them in the direction of God Almighty. That is the best way to raise an adult child. Why hearing God's voice is essential to motherhood. Written by evangelist Angie B. and published by Ladero Press.
Ma.
In Ministry Workshop It all started because I wanted to make my mom proud. Yep, that's it. That's it. That is the start of the Moms in Ministry. And as we continue into our next decade, we've got some consistency and we've got some new ideas. Okay. The first consistent aspect of the Moms in Ministry is that we always had three mothers from different situations. It could be a single mother, it could be a new grandmother, it could be an auntie who took her children in, it could be a grandmother. I'm representing the grandmothers today. So today, my two special guest mothers are women that have not only raised children and been powerful in their communities, but they call me friend. They let me call them friend. And that's a big plus, a big plus. All right, so first we've got the founder of the Levi Long Sickle Cell Association in Central Florida. We got Kiana Long Hargret coming in. And next we've got Tam McRoy, the founder of Maternal Matters Favored. And so we're going to bring them on stage right quick. Hey, ladies. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, it's so good to see you guys, especially like at the last minute. You know, I come in like, hey, we need to do this now because it's something on my heart. I ain't even ask. I'm just like, here, just. Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely.
Kiana, tell us a little bit something about you and what you're up to this week.
So of course I wear a couple of hats, and of course, sickle cell is my passion in life, and so I've been blessed to partner with a pharmaceutical company called Pfizer. They're one of the main companies that did the one of the tests when we did the COVID.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I found out through meeting one of the gentlemen that there are 8 of them that live, eat, and breathe sickle cell in the whole country.
Wow.
And so what a blessing to have met him, talked to him, had a meeting with him. Not only that, I partnered with sickle cell doctors. And right now we're looking to do a lot of grant funding. So I'm very excited. We've had meetings in reference to the gene editing therapy, which is a more sure way of curing sickle cell other than the stem cell treatment. So I'm very excited. If you don't hear me and you don't see things going on, trust there are things going on behind the scenes. It's just I'm trying to get things more in place so I can continue to move forward in the community.
Always. Absolutely.
I love it. Congrats.
That is beautiful. Tam, tell us what's going on with you this week. And
Oh
what
my
you're
gosh, I don't
about.
know. Just like Kiana, I wear multiple hats as well, but specifically for Maternal Matters Favored, we are gearing up for our second annual fundraiser, 24 Hours of Favor, where we will broadcast for 24 hours, just raising awareness and funds for our life skills program. But once more, the mission of Maternal Matters Favored is to provide counseling and support services to parents going through perinatal and postpartum mood disorders. And so these are a variety of different things. You know, some parents go through traumatic birth experiences and even prenatal experiences. Some go through levels of OCD and postpartum thoughts of psychosis and so forth. And so at the end of the day, we are each other's keepers. And we're going to make certain that we are able to provide them with the resources and tools that they need to be able to balance life and parenthood at the same time.
Right. That is incredible. Okay, so our first comment has come in from Minister Clarence C. Williams. He says, hello, blessings and love from C. Ministries. Thank you, C. He is our new founder and co-host of the Dads on Duty podcast. And so if you've been with us for a minute, you also know that Clarence C. Williams was the very first Christian rapper that signed to the tour that Angie B presents like 13, 14 years ago when he was like 12. So it has been a blessing to watch him grow in his ministry, and now he's taken over, and on Sundays from 3 to 5 p.m. he chops it up with a couple of dads just like we're chopping it up today. So thanks for the love, C-Dub. Thanks, I appreciate it. All right, our first question today Kiana, what did you learn from your mother or a mother figure in your life?
So I had a few mothers, and I say that because I had a biological mom, and my mom was young when she had me, and so when she had me, she was 18. She was very popular in the 70s, very popular, and so the whole town of Millbrook, like I was village raised. I was raised by the entire village. They wanted to make sure my mom didn't feel like her life had stopped, but they
Mm-hmm.
kept me so she can keep living, and I was raised by everybody, and I'm grateful to know and I have that love from everybody. And
Yeah.
so my mom's oldest sister is 11 of them total, six girls, five boys. And so my oldest aunt, when my mom went through a divorce after she had four girls, I'm the oldest of four girls, and we were living here in Daytona, and it was kind of devastating for mom because in Alabama, I think it's so southern, nobody gets divorced. Out of all my grandmother's children, nobody. What is that? Divorce? No, you just go in another
Yeah.
room and you don't do anything. Everybody just keep it moving. And so
Right.
for my mom, that was kind of devastating. So my aunt, Auntie Lee, she took all of us in and she raised us, and I learned so much from her. I always tell her how grateful I am to her. I don't know how it is now. With I know family members probably come in and help people, but I will never ever ever forget the unselfish love that she gave to me and my sisters to continue us upbringing here, in Alabama from here. So one thing I learned from her was love is so kind and it's
Mm-hmm.
unselfish and it's
Mm-hmm.
selfless.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you have to do, you just step in and do it. We're not talking
Mm-hmm.
about money, we're just talking about love. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I learned from her.
Love is patient, love is kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What about you, Tam? Give us something you learned from your mom or a mother figure in your life.
My mom, I would say I learned my work ethic. And so
Mm.
my mom, she had me when she was 40. And so the year that I was being born, my brother was turning 21, my sister was turning 20, and like they were starting their families. And so she in the 60s and 70s raising my brother and sister, she worked 2 and 3 jobs just to make certain bills were paid, they had what they wanted to have, you know what I mean, and so forth and so on. And with
Yeah.
me, she always maintained 2 jobs for as long
Mm.
as I can remember. Um, and she taught me, she said, you know what, as you enter early adulthood, you need to make certain that you have one, a job that you can do when you're young and you can do standing. And then
Mhm.
two, have a career that you can do sitting as you get older. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that actually play out in her life. She worked, with I'm from New York, and so she worked for Creedmoor State Hospital up until she found out she was pregnant with me. She worked for over 16 years with them, and she worked with the psychiatric population, and so that was something she was on her feet definitely doing. And then when
Yeah.
she got older,
I'm
she
coming.
moved into medical transcription, and she worked
Oh,
with
I'm
different
sorry, I'm on my
universities.
live
And
program.
um, for me, I took on that same thing, that grind and that hustle and that work ethic and mentality to make certain
Hmm.
that at the end of the day, no matter what, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to make it, and we're going to be able
Mhm.
to uh, have whatever it is that we, for the most part, want. And I say we, I'm talking about me and my son, who's grown
Right.
now, and he has that same work ethic, and to the point that he just left out and he's doing DoorDash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just getting some extra
Yeah.
funds. Um, it is what it is. It works. It has its pros
Mhm.
and its cons, though.
Mhm. 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 All right, so we're gonna get to our first question because who has raised the son? Okay, so that's for you guys. We have a we have a grandmother that sent this question in to the Dads on Duty podcast earlier, and she said, "I am raising um, my grandson's children. He is going in and out of the system. I keep bailing him out, but I don't know what else to do. What do you suggest?"
Leave him in there. I'm just saying. I've been to jail several times, and you got to touch that stove and get to your own bottom. That in which you will start to make conscientious better decisions in what it is that you're doing that's putting you in that repetitive cycle. Because if you don't make that decision for yourself to change your life, then the judicial system will. And sometimes the repercussions are not, you can't recover from them, not as well as you would want to.
Thank you, Tam. Thank you, Tam. Kiana, well,
And
you
so I
got
have
any?
my oldest son is in the system right now. And so when I go to visit him, I always pray with him and I tell him we're going to PTB. We're going to pray, trust, and believe. And so I can say for this grandmother, she has to speak to that young man because continuously bailing him out, I'm thinking, that is not good at all. It's not helping him. So she has to get in herself to understand that that's not helping him. We can talk till we're blue in the face, but until she realizes that that's not helping him, she's wasting money to get him out all the time. But she needs to pray and trust God in this and ask the Lord for direction, not just keep doing things on her own because it's not helping the situation.
My goodness.
Yeah,
My
it's
goodness.
a form of enabling him. You know what I mean? And I know this because I'm the baby. I'm the girl, and my parents, they did everything they could to protect me and coddle me and so forth. But I had to eat that and get it from the mud. You know what I mean? And I'm the better person because of so. I would like to say.
You're a better person because of it. I tell you, the application of scripture and parenting, it runs a fine line. It runs a fine line. And we've got some questions that are coming up that really have to do with where we fall on that line. So this next person said, I don't want to spare the rod to spoil my child, but timeout ain't working. What what else can I do? What else?
So I guess it depends on the age of the child.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
timeout would be good for, I think, toddlers, right? People that are small. And I grew up getting whooped. I got whooped with stitcher cord switches, and of course we know in today's time that's absolutely a no. You go to jail, right? So I thought about that too, raising my children. Like, oh my God, I don't know nothing else but the whoop. So what can I do? So I had gotten some advice from other parents. First, it goes along with the age group. And you can read books. There's nothing wrong with going to YouTube, finding out ideas. That's what we have smartphones for, right? But when you find out the age group of the child, then you get a real relationship with them. Talk to them. You'll be surprised our children can literally understand what you're saying. And I
Yeah.
was straight up with my kids. I tell them, and I've told them growing up, listen, if you do this, this is a consequence. In life, you have to have consequences. If you do this, this is going to happen. Not only say it, stand on it. My problem was inconsistency. When you say something, you have to mean it and do it, because if you don't, it'll be a problem and the child will not listen to you. They'll keep doing what they're doing if you're not consistent with the following through with the consistency of the consequence, because there are consequences with our actions. And the
Following
more
through.
and sooner we teach our children that, the more they can start adapting and understanding as parents. What is the scripture? Charity begins at home and spreads abroad. That's the love. And love comes with punishment sometimes. Love comes with being hard and harsh and saying no. Because everything in life is not yes, yes, yes. Especially in our culture. We don't get the fairness of it anyway.
That's a good one, Kiana. Tam, I see it all over your face. What you?
Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that one, Kiana. I mean, have the conversations. You know what I mean? Try to see how you can best mitigate these certain situations or risk. With the child. But I am of the sound mind that sometimes parents, we can talk to our children till we're blue in the face. We can pray about it and so forth. And they still go off and they do what they do. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, all we can do is give that situation, give that child over to the Lord, and know that, as long as we put our best foot forward with raising this child, we can sleep well at night. We can have a peace of mind, but continually keep them up in prayer. But I can't really say once a child becomes an adult that we should bend over backwards. You know what I mean? I'm not harsh, but I just know from what I've encountered and seen work and not work, me personally in my life, you know. And so even as a child is a child, right? When they're in their teenage years or even, you know, adolescence, if you as an adult, you're doing your best to instill values and principles, and you're trying to set the best foot forward, the child is either going to take heed or take not. And I say that because there are some situations where we see children grow up in horrible living conditions. You know what I mean? You know, society, their communities are just terrible, and they excel. Like they take those ruins in a sense in which they're living in, and they use it as building blocks. Right. And then we see some individuals that grow up and they're privileged, and you know they're in a worse situation, and it's like half a dozen one way, 60 other. So with that being said, you just never really know, but all you can do is just give that thing over to God and know that at the end of the day, it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out.
We have got about 4 questions that have come in, and I'm trying to get to them just as quick as I can. But I want to connect what you both said in terms of, you know, maybe raising a child from a grandmother's point of view, you know, because again, we have grandmothers and aunts and extended family members raising children. So since they may be a little bit older, they're leaning more towards what the Bible said, you know, versus what the new fangled take away they, you know, the electronics and but the bottom line is still the same. Like Kiana said, they're in it because of the love. They're in it because they love that child, and they know that, like Tam said, the child has got to touch the stove to learn sometimes. But we also have to remember that children are still these little sponges that are just absorbing everything. So if we can walk like we talk, that may also help. Now, I know for me, I don't know, I must have been 2 or 3. I don't know. I just knew once I learned how to count, I knew that when I got to be 18, I had to get up out my mama's house. I was either going to college or going to have a job and get my own place, because 2 grown women can't be in one house, one kitchen. You know, Kiana, you know, that's like,
yes.
They be doing that. So I remember knowing that and then learning how to apply that knowledge. Okay, if I'm going to college, who gonna pay for it? Okay, if I'm going to college, how am I, you know, how do I qualify for a scholarship? How do I? And so we have to continue to let the children be that sponge to soak up the answers and not just provide the answers for them. They've really got to be able to figure that out on their own. Yeah. Okay, so the next question I'm going to give you, and then we're going to take a quick break so you ladies can think about it. The question comes from an adult. I believe this is, this may be an adult man. And the question is, what advice would you give someone that never experienced a mother's love, and now they're older and they're struggling to show love to their spouse? So we're going to put you guys backstage and let y'all contemplate that and pray over that. And we're going to be right back in just a minute. That's a good one. That's a good one.
My sisters and brothers, you would want to be there when Jehovah Rapha and the enemy cancer come face to face. Something's going to happen. Be a part of an anointed testimonial conference with teaching, prayer, and just what you need. Oh, look at that name, Pastor Mary Hope will host this testimonial conference on Friday and Saturday, March 15th and 16th of 2024 at 5 p.m. and the final event on Sunday, March 17th at 2:30 p.m. It's all about Jesus and Me Teaching Ministry Incorporated. Come and get what you need to face the cancer enemy. Don't miss your vessel of encouragement. Join special guest minister, Evangelist Tahara, a dance ministry leader, founder of Unique Love Ministries, and lead presenter for Moms in Ministry Outreach Workshop. Join us at 322 North 10th Street, Palatka, Florida. Let's get grounded and encouraged through the inspirational scriptures, Psalms 107 and 20, John 11, 4 through 15, and Exodus 15 and 26, and John 10, 10, with the promise to have life more abundantly. Don't miss this unique presentation. Come and hear special guest presenters, Elder Gunny Williams Jr. and Evangelist Iris D. Miller Williams, Pastor Dr. Grace Miller, Overseer, Apostle Faith Church of Deliverance Incorporated, Fort Pierce, Florida. Join us at 322 North 10th Street, Palatka, Florida. Phone number 904-334-8849. For prayer, vendor registration, and seating, call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519. Don't miss your blessing. Don't live with regrets. Be there, my sisters and brothers. Phone number 904-334-8849. That's 904-334-8849.
The Grief to Purpose support group is back. Join this awesome support group as we move toward healing, deliverance, peace, and joy. Losing is a part of living, and we will walk through this valley together. Presented by Reverend Dawn Michelle Martin, author of Fill My Cup, Transitioning to Your Purpose Journal and Study Guide. For more information, send an email to the RERCincorporated@gmail.com. That's THERERC Incorporated@gmail.com. The Grief to Purpose support group is back. Promotional consideration sponsored in part by Angie B. Productions.
Woo, I'm so glad support group is back because we all going through some kind of grief, some kind of way. Okay, the last question that we asked, we did have a special question that was out there, and we've also got a new special guest that has just joined us. Juliana is backstage, and we're going to bring her in. But the next question for the moms is, what advice would you give to a single dad raising a daughter? So that's the second question. Juliana, you can kind of be thinking about that one. I'm going to bring Kiana and Tam back in so you two ladies can help us deal with question number one. What advice would you give someone that never experienced a mother's love? And this young man is now older and he's struggling to show love to his spouse. He's struggling. Go ahead, Tam. Go ahead.
So this hits home for me because where there was strength in my mom with her work ethic, that she showed, right? Get out there, get the grind, hustle, get it going. It allowed her to show love in the form of materials. You know what I mean? She was so busy working, like Barbie car, jewelry, what you need, you know what I mean? Here's some money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it really impacted me because there was really no emotional love in a sense from her, but there was material love, you know what I mean? But that was the form of love that she showed. And when I digged back about it, it was what she was showed. And to the point that I caught myself in the beginning of my son's adolescent years, seeing that I was doing the same thing, you know what I mean? Because of my work ethic and being a workaholic. And it was like, what you need? We're going to get some Griffins and we're going to, you know what I mean? It was like one of those kind of things. And I had to learn and train myself to pause, you know what I mean? Take more time, you know what I mean? And even to the point of hugging him, and I had to be, fully transparent and say, mommy was not raised with emotions, you know what I mean, with sharing emotions. And when you start to really take a deep dive, you know what I mean, a lot of times, regardless too often in our cultures, it wasn't something that was really, you know what I mean, like majorly shown and given. It, you don't cry, you don't, you know what I mean, you had to get out there, you a soldier, whether you're a soldier for the Lord or for whatever, you know what I mean? And it really started to, I saw where it was impacting my relationship with my son, and not to say, I have a history, and I'm writing this book that's very, it's therapeutic some days and traumatic some others to kind of birth. But, I wasn't there like I should have been in the early parts of his life. And then to be there being a full-time mom, but not really, because I'm a workaholic, and that emotional part, you know what I mean? Like,
woo,
like
yeah.
I used to do a countdown. I mean, okay, mommy's gonna let go. 10, 9, 8, you know what I mean? All right, there we go. We could try this again in another few hours. And it was real. So I would, to answer the question, you know what I mean? Because look, I get it, you know what I mean? You notice that something is off. Don't repeat the cycle. Do what you need to do with regards to getting the self-work, right? Figuring it out, and be open and honest. And you know what? Me and my son's relationship is better because of the fact that I explained, like, we didn't do this. We didn't hug, you know what I mean? And
We didn't.
We now have so much of that's my peeps, that's my ace, you know what I mean? Because of that transparency and just saying, hey, I can hug you for 30 seconds today. That's all I got in me.
That's good. That's good. Kiana, I want you to really address the question. What advice do you have for somebody that never experienced a mother's love?
And so you all heard me when I started talking about the first question you said, and I went straight to my Auntie Lee. Because my mom was young, and her and I have talked about it now, we're not that far apart in life. She was young and I'm young still. Me and mom never had a close relationship. So this hits really home for me. And so it's so weird growing up. I was looked at differently. I was the black sheep because I'm the darkest one out of my siblings. And I was the only one that had my own dad because my mom had, my dad was with her when she was young. And she married my sister's dad. So they have the same dad. So I can really, really relate to this situation. And it's crazy because I love like crazy. Yes. And I'm like, where do I come from? That's not how I was. When I was coming up, I was village raised, but it was like in my home, it was so dysfunctional. Like I got beat all the time just because today is, what is today? Sunday. That's why I got beat. So it's like, how do I love? And so I was married, the first husband. I loved him, but I didn't know how to be a wife, if that makes sense. Right. I didn't see it in my home. My mom was young. She got married at 19. She only got married so she could leave that house with all those 11 children so she can... You understand? And me and my mom have talked about this, so she sees it on Facebook. It's nothing. She knows I'm transparent. And I follow what you say, Tam. And I tell you, sir, be transparent. Be honest. And guess what? Every day is a different day. And if you make a mistake, don't have pride that you can't say, I'm sorry. Do it again. Next day's try it again. And you don't even have to wait. That day, you can try it again. Thank God for a second chance. Thank God for another opportunity to get things right that we didn't get right before, right? And I think love is the key. And pray. My prayer is always, Lord, help me to see people how you see them. I don't want to see people how Kiana see them, because that means I see people that talk about me, that suck their teeth. I want to see people how Jesus sees them, with compassion, with love. And in a marriage, we have to do vows, and because it's a real commitment, and because Christ stands on marriage, it's honorable. That means you can do it, sir. You can do this. You just have to have a good mindset and a want. And guess what? You got YouTube. You can Google classes you can take to help you to understand your spouse.
You're right.
Try to figure out how she is. Find out what was her background. You can learn each other all over again. That's why the vows say to death do us part. Because we'll never learn someone in a few months or a few years. It takes an entire lifetime to know somebody. So I would say just keep learning her. Keep learning about one another. Even learn about yourself. See about yourself, the things that you can change in you. A lot of times we don't do that. We be looking at them, when sometimes we need to change us. Something in us will probably change to make a situation, a relationship better. So you can do it. I'm proud of you. I know you can do it. I'm excited that you'll give a testimony one day that I may hear that you did well, and that you all are celebrating an anniversary over and over again.
We're gonna bring our next guest, Juliana, in just a minute, but I have a quick testimony to share about my parents, who have been married now for 28 years. my dad and my stepmom. And before my dad married my stepmom, he was married to my mother for 30 years. So I said my dad is like a serial married man. He gonna get married and stay married, right? So my parents were here visiting, and my stepmom was not feeling her best. And we were all just trying to see, okay, well, what do you need, and what can we do, and whatever. And so finally she said, well, I need this and this. So I said, come on, Dad, I'll take you to the store. So we're on our way to the store, and Dad's frustrated. He's like, I've been asking her all day, what does she need me to do, and baby, what do you need, and she didn't tell me. So by this time we're in the store, and he's still frustrated. What is this I'm supposed to get, and how come she can tell you and she can't tell me? And so over in the in another aisle, I saw a young man on the phone, and he was obviously talking to someone that had sent him to the store, because he's saying, well, they have this flavor and that flavor, and they got this and that. I said, Daddy, you see that young man over there? That's what you do. You get to the store and you call and tell them. And my dad is like, so after what, 58 years of marriage, dads still, need that communication, Kiana. They still need that love. They still need, they still need it. Now, I don't know if he applied it today or not, but that was a aha Jesus moment for me. Thank you, Lord, because I still can't tell my dad what to do. He's my dad, but he was able to get that from that particular situation. And my stepmom felt much better by the next day. So, Juliana, we want to bring you in. I cannot wait to meet you. Hello, my dear. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine. It is wonderful to meet you. Tell everybody your name and what you do and where you're from, dear.
Well, I'm Juliana. I live in Florida in the United States. And I'm a motherhood mentor. Specifically, I help moms who are burnt out and overwhelmed go from that to living more intentionally, slowing down, and just finding peace in their life.
Amen. Amen. That is wonderful. What led you in that direction, Juliana?
My own journey really did. I went through a really messy divorce last year, and I really lost myself inside a toxic marriage, and kind of went on this journey once I filed for divorce and had that courage to do that. I just went on this journey of just really self-discovery, because I had completely lost myself in that marriage, and I really wasn't happy with myself either. I wasn't happy with the type of mom I was. I felt like I could do better, but I was so burnt out and drained from so much of the toxicity that I just couldn't. I feel like I could not show up for my kids. And so it was a journey, but I had this moment probably 8 or 9 months after I filed for divorce, while it was still going on, where I just was like, oh my gosh, God, I have come back to myself. I have arrived. I am a strong woman. I can handle this. I'm going to be okay. And I just wanted to shout it from the rooftops and help other women with it. And so that is where I am now. And that's kind of what led me here.
Absolutely. 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 Now, Kiana, I know that you have shared your story in the past, but why sickle cell? Why take up the mantle of spreading awareness and raising funds, and why help sickle cell patients?
When I was teaching, I had done a lot of things during my teaching career. I helped ESC students to get out of ESC to go into regular classrooms. And it was just I wasn't doing enough. I felt like I wasn't doing enough in life. And so I looked for another position in the job just to work. And I saw case management for a sickle cell. I said, I'm going to get that job. Not knowing anything about sickle cell, anything about case management. I went into the job, but I fell in love with being able to help people. I started out with 108 clients, and the fact that I can go into their homes, find out about this illness that nobody likes to talk about. And I'm like, why nobody even saying anything? I didn't even know about this. Not knowing that my boyfriend in college, who became all 3 of my children's dad, his brother had the disease. So when we would court and we would go to Miami, I didn't even know why he kept drink by his bed until I asked about him one day, and he said, "Oh, well, he's in the hospital because he's sick." So I thought he kept saying, I said, "Well, what's wrong with him?" He said he's having crisis. I said, "Oh, he has sickle cell. Oh my God!" So it was like so many people need to hear about this, and it's not talked about enough. I feel like I don't do enough, even when I have 7 counties in the state of Florida. I still feel like I'm not doing enough because it's not taken as seriously as it should. But I'm so thankful for this journey. Thank God that I was chosen and I picked this opportunity to do because it is so necessary. So necessary.
And then Tam, we've got Maternal Matters Favored, and it seems like every time I mention your organization to someone who's older, 50 or older, they just say, "Oh, that's just postpartum. We all went through it. Women been having babies for hundreds of years, and what's the big deal?" So tell us what is the big deal about your nonprofit? And
Absolutely. So yeah, as women, we've been having these babies, right? But our bodies go through hormonal changes. And regrettably, many times too often, some of these hormonal changes, they take flight and they elevate during a woman's pregnancy and sometimes even afterwards. And so there's severe, bouts of depression, like don't want to get out of bed, don't who baby what, you know what I mean? Levels of anxiety. We see some moms that go through OCD. Oh my gosh, is the baby still breathing? Is the baby still breathing? I read this story about this mother who wouldn't change her clothes. She went into a level of psychosis right after having birth, wouldn't change her clothes, you know what I mean? Was walking around with the placenta and just like all these different, our bodies endure a lot, and for me, when I was pregnant, I was suffering in silence with depression, and it sped into anxiety and depression after I gave birth to my son. To the point that I fell into a really dark space, and it took a little minute for me to get back right. And so this is something that hits home for me. And, individuals don't even recognize the fact that sometimes that, prolonged moments of crying or, disturbance in their sleeping or their eating patterns, that these can all be attributed to prenatal and postpartum mood disorders. And so we work with parents just to let them know, look, we get it. You know what I mean? There is no manual to parenthood, but there's a tribe for every parent. And that's our slogan, right? You don't have to go at this alone. There is a way for you to recover, and let us tell you about it and help get you there.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a music video, and then when we get back, we got a couple more questions, and then we have to have a conversation about undergarments.
Love, I know it's good. Love, I know it's kind. Love is in my soul. Love is in my mind. Love is in my heart. Love shines through the dark. Love was in the start. Will never have us apart. God, He loves us. Forgive us of all sin. Love in the beginning. Love is in the end. Love comes from faith. Love, it gives grace. Love does not break. Love does not hate. Love does not lie. Love tells the truth. Love is in me. Love is in you. Love does not fail. Love will prevail. Love will prevail. Love does not fail. Love is all I need. Love is all I need. All must come and see. What's love? What's love? Love is all I need. Love is all I need.
What's love? Only love laid down his life. Told me he paid the price to give me eternal life. Love give me a purpose. Love told me I'm worth it. Love keeps me encouraged. Love never discouraged. Love is in the start. Love is in the end. Love lives in my heart. Love defeated sin. Love is never fake. Love keeping it real. Love shows me the way. Love is in His will. Love always forgives, my past it never holds. Love told me to live, love it never boasts. Love it never boasts, love giving me hope. Love showed me you wrote that God loved me the most. Love is from above, love came for the lost. Love paid the cost, love was on the cross. Love doesn't pretend, love it never ends. Love died for sins, love rose again.
Love is all I need. Love is all I need. All must come and see what's love, what's love. Love is all I need. Love is all I need.
It's all in me, come on.
All must come and see what's love, what's love. I want genius.
Well, it's so cute. Kiana was talking about love at the top of the episode, and I truly think that's what motherhood is. We're all about love. Fatherhood may be about structure and lessons, but I just love that one. So if you want to see that video and learn more, you can join me weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, mornings with the Queen Bee. Just search for the group on Facebook and follow, and then you'll get the notifications that we're on. A couple special shout outs before I bring my guests back in. Thank you to Brother Terrence. He liked our program. He was checking us out earlier. Terrence Horn Jr. Thanks again to Minister Clarence C.W. Williams for joining us, and thank you so much for those that are sending in your text messages. Okay, so I am dressed this way today because I'm representing the grandmother's questions. You know, you always got a grandmother that might have her nightcap on, ran and put on some red lipstick and put some rouge on her cheeks right quick, and as soon as you walk in the house, as soon as you walk in, they're gonna be like, what are you wearing, and where is this, and where is that? So we have a question from a grandmother. How can I encourage my grandbaby to put on some proper clothing, especially some undergarments? All right, Juliana, I see you grinning. I'm about to bring you in right quick. Juliana, undergarments from a grandmother.
Yep. All right. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so we got a grandmother that's concerned that their grandchild is just not appropriately dressed, just doesn't have on enough undergarments, and just we're gonna have to bring Kiana in for this one too, because I know she was raised by a village. And Tam, you can come on back in too. What do you ladies think about the criticism that we can sometimes receive from a motherly figure? Juliana, you know, they want you to put on some clothes. Tam, especially us, Tam, they good about telling us we need to go get a wig. We need to go put on a hat. We need to do something. And Kiana, you don't need to be working that hard. You just need to get a husband and settle down. What? How do we deal with this constructive, loving criticism that we may receive from a mother or a motherly figure?
Oh, go ahead, Kiana.
Go ahead, Juliana.
Okay. I actually have had a similar question recently, and I've been in this situation too, especially being a single mom, where I get things like that. You know, when are you going to get a husband? And I have a son. You know, do you want to meet my son? You know, even from women who just look at me as their daughter, and I'm like, I'm not looking for anybody. You know, but that's thank you anyways. And so what I have to remind myself in those instances is that they're coming from a place of love, right? Like they're being intentional of trying to be helpful and loving. They're also coming from a different generation where it's difficult to think outside of your perspective and outside of how you grew up and the generation that you grew up in. And so they're coming from this place where for them, it really wasn't that long ago where women really couldn't do a whole lot if they did not have a husband. I mean, I'd love to say that was like in the dark ages, but it really wasn't. It was not that long ago. And so I personally just affirm and, let them know that I do appreciate their advice, and I appreciate where they're coming from, and that I know that they're really just doing it from a place of caring. But I also just let them know that, I'm a strong woman and I'm not opposed to that, but God's going to provide somebody for me when it's his time to provide someone for me. I'm not looking for it, but I'm also not opposed to it. And we live in a day and age, thank God, where, would it be ideal to have a husband? Of course, that's the ideal. That's how God created it. But that's just not always the reality in this day and age either.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good. Kiana, what you got to say from your village?
Well, is it a twofold question? Because I want to make sure I understood. That's why I let Juliana go first.
No, go ahead.
Please. Well, what I want to make sure I hear in reference to the undergarments, right?
Yes.
Am I responding to how I can talk to the generation about covering up more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Okay. So my Auntie Lee made sure she made sure we wore a t-shirt up on everything. I wear a t-shirt up on everything. And even I'm almost 50 and I still wear a t-shirt because that's how I was raised. I raised my daughter to wear a t-shirt. My sons will put clothes on, dress according to the weather. My sickle cell clients dress according to the weather. So you won't sickle as fast. I tell everybody the same thing. Even people at the store, I see a young man with his pants down. Friend, sir, put your pants up. And it's okay, I think, for us to in love.
Yes.
It has to be done in love.
Yes.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. If you do it in love, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And so I would tell anybody, even this generation, because I just seen a lot out the door. Oh, I seen a lot during bike week. I seen a lot. It looked like panties on, but it was shorts. I seen a lot. And I asked.
A lot that you didn't want to see.
Listen, I'm the type of person I will ask, how do you feel? You feel okay with that on? I met a young lady at the courthouse. She had on a bonnet and some pajamas in the courthouse. And she was there to rectify getting her RN certificate again. Getting her RN, like I said, big girl, you in here with your night clothes on. You can't do that. You got to represent us, baby. You can't come here like that. And I can't help it. I can't help it. When I see something, I say something. Why go tell somebody else? Girl, I don't have time for that. Let's talk to the person that can understand and can do something about it. I don't care to talk about people. I want to talk to the people. I think we do that more, then we'll get some more, things getting done. Yeah.
Now, you were born and raised in Alabama, right? So that's that's strong Alabama training. Okay, and we know Juliana's in Florida, but Tam, you coming at it from a New York perspective.
I'm still tickled over Wiki, but I feel you. She said, "Wait, what did you say, Kiana? You have the? I'm going to tell you. What is it? What is it called? What do you have?
Oh, wait, with your clothes?
Yes, I'm going to tell you. So that's what you have it. What is it called that you said? Yeah.
Yes, you tell the person and it's okay. But in love, you tell them.
Yes, I love that. These days and times, it's really, I don't want to say it's weird, but it is, you know what I mean? Like I see the pros and the cons of these present days and times, you know what I mean? But you're to represent yourself at a certain level at all times, no matter what, you know what I mean? Like we don't go into the store with flip-flops or, the fuzzy wuzzy slippers and, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that you just don't do. And I'm at a loss for words because it flies, right? But then you have to think to yourself, where are they at in their life?
Correct.
Right. And it just speaks for itself. I don't really have a comment too much on this one because I'm baffled. But they say that in the end days, you know what I mean, that it'll be like we live in a bizarro world. Think that Superman, everything's opposite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
So I do have a couple of comments with the undergarments. Now, one of them, and Atlas, the Wonder Dog, is in the background with his new toy squeaking. So that's what you're gonna hear. But one of the comments that came to me about a week or so ago, there was someone popular who's pregnant and her belly was out. Okay, singer, rapper, whosoever she was, her belly was out. And the person texted me and said, "Who told these girls it's okay to have your belly out? Who told these fellas it's okay to have their pants drooping? Who told them?" And my response was, "Well, who told them otherwise?" So I started looking. I follow a doula on Instagram who's teaching women how to have their children naturally, not in the hospital, doped up. Okay. Fascinating concept to me, because when I was birthing my babies, ain't nobody told me I could stay at home in a bathtub, or, so I'm learning. But one of the things that the doula said is that when you're carrying a child, you got stretch marks and lower back pain and stuff, you need something to support the baby. There's kind of like a girdle thing you can wrap around and bind yourself and give yourself that support. And I pride myself on trying to apply things that I've learned. When I was growing up, I learned, I may not have too many of them in my closet now, but you put on a slip because you didn't want people to see through your dress. My daughter talks about how she has to put on tights when she goes to Michigan because it's cold. Put some Vaseline on your skin and put on some tights, and that helps. And I love what Kiana says. Everything's got a t-shirt on, everything. But maybe we mothers forgot how to teach our children how to dress for the weather or dress for the change of life. We may have a hot flash or something, but did anybody, tell us that maybe we need to put on cotton versus polyester? These are some of the things that the Moms in Ministry wants to talk about, because we're not learning these things in school and we're not learning them in the church. So how are we supposed to get that point across? So Juliana, I'm gonna come back to you. Tell us more about your blog and how someone can find it, and can somebody contribute to it? Tell us more about that.
Sure. My blog is pretty new. I just started it, I'd say it's March, so about mid-January. It's been up for a couple months. It's called blessedgirlmom.com. I have all girls, so that's why. And as right now, I've had a couple people ask me about contributing, and right now I'm not at that stage yet. I mean, people can comment and add in that way. And I'm always looking for different topics. So often when people message me with questions, sometimes it just sparks something in my brain, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go write a topic about that. So I'm always open to suggestions, or if somebody comes to me and specifically asks me to write about a topic, absolutely happy to do that. But that's kind of still in the beginning stages right now. So that's what. Good
for you. Good for you. We love new starts. Ain't that right, Tam?
I've had the website for over a year, and it's taken me this long to have the courage to actually post something. I had to just rip the Band-Aid off and stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I almost thought I was on a Zoom. I was looking for the heart button. I was gonna.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, we're gonna get back to these questions. Another young man, looks like nope, he didn't tell me where he's from. He says, I'm having trouble getting my wife to open up and express her feelings when something is wrong. What should I do? Help. So let's start with Kiana.
I say the best way to help someone to open up is for that he needs to share. He needs to share in relation to whatever the subject or topic is. He needs to share something that happened when he was younger that can relate to that same situation, and that can encourage her to share.
That's good. That's good. Tam, what you think?
I'm just rolling with Kiana this evening. But yeah, you know what I mean. You want to show your vulnerability and your transparency, and of course, it may not catch the first time, but being consistent in your genuineness, it'll help. So chances are, maybe she encountered some things in her upbringing or early adulthood or whatever have you that kind of has her still a little, standoffish or guarded in some areas of fully showing her emotions. And so, if he loves her sincerely, he'll continue to work with her and meet her where she's at, one step at a time.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Juliana, I know you're coming from a place of healing from painful men women type of relationships. I am as well. So tell us what you think. What would you say to a young man who's having trouble getting his wife to open up and express her feelings?
I would say that like a really intentional conversation needs to happen with no expectations on his part, meaning a sit down conversation where he just opens up and expresses how he's feeling about that. Something like, hey, I'm really trying to get through to you on X, Y, and Z topic, and I feel like I'm not. I would really love for you to open up, and just a really vulnerable conversation on his part where he's being vulnerable, and then not having any expectation in that moment for her to respond, because there's so many different personalities out there. I'm a very high introvert, and so I have to really internalize and step away to process things. And some people are like that, where they'll get a question at that, something that's kind of really, they need time to think about. Even something like, hey, I really want you to open up to me. I'm really struggling with this. She may need time to step away and process that. And I think it's from his perspective to just say, this is how I'm feeling, have him open up and be vulnerable, and then say, look, you don't have to respond right now. That's okay. But can we come back in a couple of days and sit down after you've processed this and talk? And then that gives her space, right? There's no expectations of pressure on her to respond in that moment. But it also kind of puts the ball in her court while with him also like putting himself out there as well.
That's good. That's good. That's good. In my heart, I feel like if you want her to open up and she does, please honor that she opened up.
Yes.
I know sometimes men can come back and say, oh, I can fix that, or you shouldn't feel that way, or, not necessarily to belittle that, but that could be where she's coming from. She could have felt belittled in the past when she opened up. So no, she ain't going to open up to you now. Yeah. She may have felt like her feelings were not validated. So no, she ain't going to open up. And so, years ago, I learned that, sometimes you got to go. My sons, my daughters married two very wonderful young men. So I don't even call them son-in-laws, but my sons, I go to them and I say, okay, I just need you to listen to this. You ain't got to fix nothing. Just let me vent. Just let me. And then after I've done that, okay, I may come back an hour later and say, okay, what do you want me to do about it? But we had to get to that position. Unfortunately, that was not a position that I could get to with the last person I was in a relationship with. It was always, no, you don't need to, you don't, you too sensitive, you too, whatever. Thank you, Kim. So, and I appreciate what Juliana said. Sometimes you can lose yourself in a relationship because we're trying to be a good wife. We're trying to be a good partner. We're trying to be a mom, and then we forget how to be us. So on behalf of the moms in ministry, young man, I want you to know we get it that you're trying, but please let's look at the recommendations that you've received today from the moms and see if you can apply some of that. And just also remember that like Juliana said, some people are introverts. That ain't me. I mean, I'm gonna tell everything, but I understand how difficult it can be for an introvert to really open up. So you've got to know the person that you're with and recognize why God put you in that person's life for such a time as this. Okay, is it really to have them to open up, or really to show them by being what they need in that time, Okay, we got maybe 2 more questions that came in. I'm gonna do my best to try to get them in here, but we're gonna take a quick break. I just don't want you to go anywhere. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Universal Words, a small book of inspiration, comfort, and advice, by Victoria Lampos. Audiobook produced by Angie B. Productions and narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Angie B. The power of words. Words, whether spoken, written, typed, or signed, the effects they have on people and the world can change lives in the best or the worst ways. While some words give us light that brightens our souls with the will to live, others can shatter our hearts to thousands of pieces. Using words wisely can make the world a much better place. Our small choices can potentially make dramatic differences. This book's words are meant to offer a glistening spark of faith to your heart and help inspire you to improve yourself. Universal Words, a small book of inspiration, comfort, and advice, by Victoria Lampos.
DJ Shaheem on the track.
Tim here, coming to you from Favor. We are gearing up for our 2024 annual fundraiser, 24 Hours of Favor. We will have a slew of individuals coming to you, telling you their own raw personal experiences about perinatal and postpartum mood disorders. And so once more, we're talking about levels of anxiety, depression, OCD, even some forms of psychosis. Here we are, we're coming to you May 11th through May 12th from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mother's Day is when we'll end. We hope that you would join us. Once more, all the proceeds that we raise from bringing awareness is for our Life Skills program. We're looking forward to seeing you then.
Universal Words, a small book of inspiration, comfort, and advice, by Victoria Lampos. Audiobook produced by Angie B. Productions and narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Angie B.
Ma, 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 ma.
We parents need to understand that our children may know the pitfalls that we taught them, yet they will sometimes have to drag themselves out of their own pits in order to learn to reach up for God instead of reaching up for us, steering them in the direction of God Almighty. That is the best way to raise an adult child. Why hearing God's voice is essential to motherhood. Written by Evangelist Angie B. and published by Ladero Press.
Ma.
DJ Shaheem on the track.
Yep, those are our upcoming events for March, April, and May. And we've got the email address up now. You can send your information to me, angieb@gmail.com. That's MEANGIEBEE@gmail.com. I know we're coming to a point in the show where we've got a couple of difficult topics to discuss. And so this next question comes from a person that said, what advice would you give to a single dad raising a daughter? And why is that a question that should be addressed by the moms in ministry? Why not? Why not? We know how we would have, been receptive to a conversation. And so maybe there's something that we can say right now that would help. So Juliana, I'm bringing you back in. Tam, you're coming in right now. Kiana, you're coming in. And let's look at how could a single dad better raise his daughter? What advice would you give to a single dad raising a daughter? And then after that, we'll get into the sex question. So, Juliana, would you like to go first?
Sure. Single dads raising daughters. I would say it's really important for multiple reasons to just really be intentional about leading by example as far as how a man should treat a woman. It's really, it can be very easy to get like all these little daily tasks done right, as far as like we're getting them fed, they have clothes, they're getting off to school. And, a single dad is doing all of that stuff too, right? He's doing mom and dad. And it's very easy to get caught up in that and forget about, hey, how am I treating them in certain moments in the day? How am I validating their emotions? Am I showing them that their boundaries are respected? Especially as a Christian, I mean, Jesus was a man, God the Father, right? And so subconsciously, whether we realize it or not, a lot of times we, especially as young children, our earthly father is the only example that we have. When we think God the Father, we're like, oh, okay, our Father. And for some of us, that can be a very positive experience. For some of us, it's very confusing because we may not have healthy dads that exemplify that well. Some of us may not have that example at all, right? Depending on what situation you grew up in. And so there's a lot of responsibility, I think, that men have to have as fathers. And it can be scary and it can feel overwhelming. But I think when a man is intentional with his daughter about, hey, I'm going to make sure that I'm intentional about validating her feelings when she comes to me, intentional about the kind of woman that he brings around her when he starts dating, because that's going to speak volumes to them as well. And how he treats that woman when he chooses to bring somebody around her, right? Because they're watching all the time and they're soaking that up.
Wow. Wow. Kiana, I see you nodding your head.
Yeah, I really agree with Juliana that everything she said, that's so true. As well as I would encourage him to raise her to be the woman that he knows that she needs to be. A woman that's
Mm,
respected, respects herself, is respected by
mhm,
others. Raise her to be the woman that you know that she can be and the woman you will want to date because she's going to
mm,
want to date eventually as she get older. But a
mhm.
person has to be instilled and have qualities instilled in them that someone would look at them and say, that's the somebody that I would like to be with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. But yes.
Yeah. All right, Tam, you raised a fine young man. So, what if he was a single dad and you had to have this conversation with him?
Um, you know, it could go so many ways. I always say that when you have big discussions to have, pray, right? And ask God to open up the ears of individuals so they can receive the manner in which you're wanting to provide the information. And I
Mhm,
would say in this instance for the father, if he hasn't already, I would ask that he look maybe in his circle for
mhm,
women who can possibly have a conversation with his daughter, because a lot of times in these present days and times, individuals want someone they can connect with. So, it may be weird for her to, have this conversation with dad, but she may be able to be more receiving of it from, I don't know, who's in his
auntie,
family or
mother,
in his,
sure,
you
yeah,
know what I mean? And
yeah.
so you want to always be strategic in the ways in which you need to decimate out information so that you can actually meet your agenda. And so that's one strategy. Worst
Mhm,
case, I would make certain that he has a very pointed conversation and
mhm,
not be too aggressive and the tone in which he's trying to
mhm,
convey things with his child, because
mhm,
you want them to be receptive, you want to be able to land your point, you want them to be open and communicate back to you in some of the things in which they're saying, because it helps to make or break the relationship. Because from what I'm gathering, this
mhm,
is kind of like a interview, you know what I mean,
mhm,
a next level, a plateau is taking form here, and he doesn't want
mhm,
to miss the mark with this with his child.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, final question that I have. I think there's maybe one more, but final question. Really, is that question that we sometimes shy away from because we don't want to deal with it. But how are we talking to our children about hormone changes? How are we talking to our girls about, okay, your cycle is going to start. And then when you get older, you're going to have hot flashes, or your bladder is going to leak, or you or how are we talking to our young men about, okay, you woke up this morning, you didn't pee in the bed. That's called something different. And I know the girls are surrounding you because you got, these muscles and you got all this, but you still need to. How are we talking to our children about our body, about their bodies changing, about sex, and we all know the word, you don't need to be having sex but we all know the truth is that these kids, you know. So, Kiana, how was Alabama talking talking to
And
folks?
it's weird because growing up, I couldn't even say boy. It was
Mm-mm.
not anything we talked about. We didn't say, I'm going to have a
Mhm.
boyfriend. What? You better not say that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
then it came to
Mhm.
coming in Florida, and it's a different culture, different environment altogether. And my
Mhm.
mom, I couldn't even talk to boys on the phone. If a boy called me,
Mhm.
he had to fix his voice to sound like a girl to ask for me. It was, oh gosh, and it was so unhealthy. So
Yes.
me growing up, that was unhealthy. Even when I got to be probably in my late teens, my pastor told my mom, "But won't you let her have company with you and your husband there?" My mom was like, "Absolutely not." My mama could not fathom me having a boyfriend, which was in her mindset that's the old school way. Like, no.
Mhm.
So then when I had children at
Mhm.
25, 27, 29, I'm like, oh no, they're gonna grow up, and I don't know anything
Mhm.
about telling them what to do to date. I dated
Mhm.
in college because I couldn't date. I had to wait
Mhm.
till I got out and then start
Mhm.
talking to people comfortably on my own. So it was like, oh my gosh. And what ended up happening was I have one daughter. She's my middle child. My best friend told me, if you don't talk to her about sex, just get ready to go ahead and be a grandmother. Just go ahead and get ready to buy Pampers, diaper bag. And that's what ended up happening. I was so uncomfortable. I didn't even know how to start a conversation with, protecting yourself, any of that. And so when she had her baby, I was like, oh God. But she's so transparent with me. She asked me questions that I'm like, girl, let's talk later. Wait a minute.
I got you.
This generation is so forward. And she's like,
Yeah.
Mom, she's just like asking me out, well, what happened when you had sex? Absolutely not. We're not, no, absolutely not. We're not doing that. And she's 19, she'll be 20. In a few weeks, she'll be 20, March 29th. And I'm still not ready to talk about my life with her. Absolutely not.
Wow.
But I'm comfortable to listen to her, and I'm comfortable to share things with her. Not specifically all the way about me, but I'm more comfortable now to talk to her than I was. My boys are different. My youngest son, he was in a relationship. I can't believe it. He has a girlfriend, and when they broke up, he came to my room. She broke up with me, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Oh my God, So all I do is tell him, "You're so handsome. You're gonna be such a." I just encourage him. I build him up. I don't have to do that for my daughter. She have to do that for me. I don't have to do that for her. She's different. But I'm grateful that we have personalities. Every child has a different personality. No two children, even twins, have the same personality. And the fact that what I did, and my mom did this to us, she apologized. And I had to learn to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't make the best choice as a mom in this situation. And it's okay for us to talk to our children like that.
Yes.
That helps with transparency. It helps with honesty. It helps with our relationship. So I said a lot. I hope I said something that was helpful.
Okay, Juliana, give us some of your feedback.
So sex. My kids are little. My kids are 8, 6, and 4, and they're all girls, like I said. But sex growing up. So I grew up. My dad was a pastor, and we grew up in a household where that just was not talked about. It was just, it's bad. Sex is bad. And if I tried to ask questions about it to my mom, it was like, oh, just don't have it. Just don't have it. Not until you're married. And that, that was it.
Yeah.
She did a really good job of talking to me about like body changes. That was never anything like as far as, our cycle and all of that. That was a very open topic, but sex was not at all. Even just her view of her own body after having children. She's very critical of that, always ashamed, trying to hide because she had C-sections, trying to hide it. And growing up with that, now having little girls, I have vowed to just not be like that. Right?
Yes.
Baby, go out there. Okay, I'll be out there in a minute.
Yes.
Can you shut the door? Okay. And so I do my best. And I say my best because I'm not perfect at this, but I do my best to just be very honest with my kids at an age appropriate level, right? Growing up where we didn't talk about sex at all, what ended up happening with my sister and I, we were homeschooled, but there was a time when we were like in our early teens where we were still homeschooled, so we were home, but my mom would leave us at the house a lot. And we had internet access, and so we were like, well, we want to know these questions. And so we would go downstairs because this was when Google was there, it was happening. And we would Google things, and you can imagine the things that pop up when you go on the internet and you're trying to, figure out questions about sex. And my sister and I ended up in chat rooms that were very dangerous. I mean, I think of it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe, like, thank God he was just protecting us.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that for my kids, right? So I think if they're old enough to ask questions, they're old enough to have an age-appropriate answer. My kids are very well aware of their body changes that are going to come. They are very aware that, hey, mommy's body has gone through changes with each baby. And, they'll come up to me and they poke my stomach and they're like, Mom, why is your stomach jiggly? What is that scar from? I'm like, yeah, that's just what happens when you're babies. Why does your belly button look like that? And it's not a shame thing. Do I love it? No, but I don't need to be ashamed of it. Even with sex, I mean, my kids understand at the most basic level because they're little. Boys and girls have different parts. My oldest, who's almost 9, has been asking more specific questions. So her and I sat down and we talked about, hey, this is how God created men and women, right? Like to come together at some point in marriage and have babies. This is why they have different parts. Because she was specifically asking, and I answered those questions, you know, very limitly, like with limits. But I just think that being honest and not approaching those conversations with shame, even if they're uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable. But when we do it openly like that, it lets them know, hey, I can come to you and ask these questions that come up, right?
Amen. So, yeah. That is wonderful. All right, Tam.
So I have one and only, my son. He just turned 21. I knew it was coming, being a single mom. And so I prepped my brother, his uncles, my homeboys, like, look, when I say go, I'm going to need you to call him up. And, you know, for me, I did, you know, I was able to utilize my village people to have those in-depth conversations with him. And that way I was able to kind of stay at the surface. You know, and to this day, you know, we'll have some kind of conversations, but I'm relieved to know that he has a circle of men in which he can talk all of the whatever, and they'll come and tell me. You know?
Yeah. We'll come and tell you. Yeah.
It's that, you know, once more, it's all about strategy. But yeah, and he feels comfortable in venting and divulging and whatever have you. You know, I'm very fortunate. I have a really, really good young man. And so just one day at a time.
Yeah. And again, these are not conversations we're going to learn to have in school, and ain't too many churches that are going to have these kind of conversations. So that's why we have moms in ministry. Ministry is our foundation, but we sometimes have to have these hard conversations because nobody told us. We didn't have a village. We coming from a place of pain or misunderstanding. I remember my mother passed away in 1999. So, and she was 54 years old. So I've taken on kind of a motherly approach to my younger sisters. And that, let me tell you what's going on with my body now, because we didn't have that kind of family history. So I remember my sister was going through something. I was like, girl, you perimenopausal. She's like, Perry, what? Perry Mason? What? Who? And so we you know, mom just didn't have that conversation with us, but the sex education conversation she learned because she worked for Planned Parenthood. So she was bringing home pamphlets and things, and the life cycle library, a red hardcover little library of books. And so the more information you have, the more information you can provide. Just like Kiana said, nobody told her this, nobody told her that. I raised 2 daughters, and I started telling them when they were like 8, 9 years old, you know, get some lube. The first time it's gonna hurt. The second, third, fourth time, it's just not even worth it to start before you're in love and married and you can work together. That was my basis for the ministry aspect of it, but the reality of it had to come from a place of love, like we've always talked about. So,
and it's not just one conversation either.
It's not, because the body part, one conversation. Yeah.
Takes time, takes many years that you build upon.
You're right. Okay, it's just about time for us to get out of here. Juliana, can you tell everybody how we can get in touch with you?
Yes, either through my website at www.blessedgirlmom.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Thriving Mama Mentor.
Oh, wonderful. And Tam, I know we're going to be with you for 24 hours, May 11th, Mother's Day weekend, May 11th and 12th. So tell us how we can get in touch with you now if somebody wants to advertise during the broadcast or they want to be a special guest.
Absolutely. So you can reach me at TAM, at mmfavored.org. And that's M like in Mary, M like in Mary, the word favor with an E and a D at the end.org.
That's perfect. Perfect. And Kiana, I know that after I grab some dinner, I'm going to be looking at this this information that you sent me. But how best can we as individuals help a sickle cell patient? We may know somebody down the street, round the corner. We don't know what to do with them. We don't know what to do for them.
You can advocate for them. You don't have to have a special paper, special certification. You can ask them, how are they? You can call the hospital and advocate on their behalf. You call the hospital, make sure they're giving them their medicine. You know, what is it? Are they okay? You can go to the hospital and sit with them so they won't be by themselves. They will not be mistreated if they're not by themselves. When they're alone, that's when the mistreatment occurs. So you can just be that person, just sit in the room, look at a book while you're there, and the nurses will not mistreat them while you're there.
And the one thing that I've always said is that when mothers can get together to talk about situations on their heart, not to gossip, but to talk about situations, we can change the trajectory of anything. And with this being Women's History Month, I definitely can see that. So I'm going to put you ladies backstage so we can get ready to get out of here. I want to thank each of my guests today. I'm going to give them some time after the show ends to come back in and they can meet and greet each other. But I encourage you to like the show. Please follow the page on Facebook, Moms in Ministry. Talk to a mother that you know and ask them if they're having any challenges or difficulties with anything. It could be something that you think is simple, but it could be really a mountain for them. So please stay in touch with other mothers, other parents, other people. And if it is the Lord's will, we'll be back. We'll be back for another episode of Moms in Ministry. Thanks, everybody. We do appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. And be blessed. If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, we invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. In the office, too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. In the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60-minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483.
My name is Tiamara McRoy. I am the founder and president of Maternal Matters Favored, and I'm very happy to be here. Maternal Matters Favored.
Ok, il dit comme ça que lui-même c'est Tamara McCoy et lui-même c'est maman maternelle. Bagay qui maternelle gagne un peu d'importance. C'est comme ça les compagnies.
Okay, and so Maternal Matters Favored, we are a Christian-based nonprofit. We work to provide counseling and support services to parents that are going through perinatal, postpartum mood and anxiety, stress.
Il dit comme ça que compagnie yo établi puis yo capable aider parents qui gagnent stress, qui gagnent problème qui ont petit problème mental tout les bébés pour le faire ou bien avant bébé fait ou bien après bébé fait pour que nous capable aider un à l'autre. Yeah, just like so I can really translate and not mess it up. I want to say what
So perinatal or postpartum mood disorders is a term used to describe distressing feelings that occur during pregnancy and throughout the first year after pregnancy.
Ok, dit comme ça que périnatal veut dire comme ça que autour de les mamans pour faire bébé. So pendant maman enceinte et jusqu'à 1 an après maman fin faire bébé, c'est leur ça y a regardé.
Yeah, and it's something that we all go through because of hormonal changes that take place in our bodies.
Et dit comme ça son bagage que nous toutes nous passer là-dedans parce que hormones nous a changé les nous enceintes.
Yeah, so you're thinking about anxiety, stress, depression.
Anxiété, stress, dépression.
Bills to pay, food to eat, you know, jobs.
Manger, job, tout stress.
It all takes a certain level of heightness when you're dealing with having to be another parent or a mom or a dad.
Tout stress ça revient plus fort parce que l'on connaît on va le faire petit. Et l'on pour ni fille ni garçon.
So our areas of focus, our philosophy is pretty much around emotional support, instrumental support, and information support.
So you base support sur émotion, sur bagage instrumental pour l'argent, temps, bagage que nous avons besoin, information, éducation que nous avons besoin.
Some statistics, just to kind of let you know that we're not alone in this by ourselves.
Ok, dis comme ça qu'il va garder quelques numéros ensemble avec nous pour nous connaître que c'est pas nous seuls qui avons expérimenté ça.
At least 60% of women with perinatal depression have experienced a mental health condition in the past.
Et dis comme ça que 60% de monde qui n'entend que yo fait bébé ou bien quoi faire bébé, yo a un problème dépression, les ou quoi yo a un problème dépression dans ça.
Approximately 1 in 10 women will experience postpartum depression after giving birth, with some studies reporting 1 to 7 women.
So, di yon nan 10 filles, le ou fin fè bébé, yo gen dépression, le ou fin fè bébé et gen étude qui dit yon nan 7 filles qui fè bébé qui gen problème dépression ça.
And it is estimated that 50% of mothers with postpartum depression are not even diagnosed by their healthcare provider.
Il dit comme ça que 50% de moun yo qui gen dépression, le ou kwa fè bébé, le ou fin fè bébé, docteur va même connaître ça. N'importe non. Allez, c'est pour la pied. They keep this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tu vas mon papier. C'est comme ça que, yeah. C'est un bail personnel pour nous capables de dialoguer ensemble. Yeah. They're still writing. kon sa ke, she's like, if you start crying, is that negative?
No, it's actually positive because crying helps release some of the pressures of stress mentally and emotionally.
E di kon sa kriye son bagay pozitif liye. Paske yi ede retire stress la nan kor la, yi ede ou process emosyon yo ap soti nan kor.
And that's a good question, and I say that because we're made to express our emotions.
I di kon sa nou fet pou express emosyon nou. Se nou mette emosyon ou deyo, men nou baka bon moun, you know,
when we hold our emotions in, it affects our body, and so sometimes people get ulcers, you know, sometimes it turns into cancer, you know.
I di an pil fwa, le moun pa mette emosyon deyo, i fe kor vin malade. Lese sa moun kon gen kanser ki vin devlope a cause de sa, gen moun ki gen ulcer a cause de sa, paske yo pa mette emosyon deyo.
So cry, let it all out.
I di kon sa kriye, mette ba la deyo.
Let it all out, let it all out. So now let's talk about what are some positive and healthy ways people may respond to stress?
Ok, di kon sa ke ki fason nou ka repon na stress nan pa fason pozitiv. Premier, di kon sa ke cherche plus informasyon sou situasyon. Kompren? Pozitivement, ou cherche plus informasyon. Parler de situation avec un ami ou bien un monde que ou gen confiance nan li. Pas n'importe moun non, moun gen confiance nan li. Fon bagay ki ka edo relax. Par exemple, ou ka e ben, ou ka e fon ti marché. Ou bien ou ka écrit tout, ou ka écrit de ki jon senti ou. Même si pas moun parler avec ou ka écrit li. Écrit yan ou tire nan tête ou mette sur papier. She's like, how about when you have somebody who's talking to themselves? Is that positive or are they crazy?
You know what? My rule is that you can talk to yourself and you can respond to yourself. It's like,
Et tu penses que oui, on met pas la tête pour parler pour parler avec, on met pas la tête, ça c'est du fou, mais on met pas la tête, c'est la vie qui fait ça.
Alrighty. So in summary, and I'll read this one and then you can skim, and then there's one more you can skim and finish.
Okay.
Sometimes people react to stress differently by what? Becoming angry or upset or blaming someone else.
Ok, tu kon sa ke gen moun se fache, yo komanse la gen blem se entel ki la cause.
Or they may feel so overwhelmed that they avoid the stressful situation.
Ou bien yo fè kom si yon yon pa pase vwe, yo kom si problem nan pa la.
These are negative and unhealthy things to do.
E di kon sa ke sa yo se pa bagay ki bon pou nou fè le.
And why is because the stress can wind up adding to the pressure the person is feeling and cause more problems over time.
E di kon sa si nyo stress yo, ya bin monte plus an plus.
So, like we said, go ahead and cry. And then sometimes stress may push or motivate people to take action to handle a situation that causes more stress in a sense.
Okay? E di kon sa ke genen la stress la vin pou reagi, apre sa vin gen plus stress a cause de fason te reagi ya.
It's always recommended that you get more information about a situation, that you look for alternatives, and once more, pray to God.
E di kon sa ke toujou chèche l'autre fason, chèche plus informasyon sur un problem ka bo stress, e pou priye tout, priye a moun Dieu.
Also, sometimes it's good to maybe, if you're having a heated conversation with someone, it's okay to maybe take some space, some time to come back to it when you're not as angry.
E di kon sa ke si ke wap jure ansan avè komon se, jure a goj rale kon nan sityasyon, lò vin plus kalman, wap tourne, wap pala avè. Men avan sa pa kontine a brele, pa prezou kan.
All right, so we're going to stop here for today. I wanted to get into much more, but hey, we're nearing the end of our time together, so we will do this again when I come back out.
Thank you. Dis-moi ça que li coupe li en bout, mais il veut qualité, il veut tourner, la continuer ensemble avec nous, plus sous bagage positif que nous qu'a fait, là nous gain stress.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna translate it over the PowerPoint. I'll translate, and I'll just be able to print something out and have it long. I just
Ok. Il dit comme ça que la PC fait un monde ranger ça en créole pour lui, pour nous garder en créole dans mais nous pendant la parler. Et moi ma belle nous
I'll do that next time.
Yeah.
It was like either do the handout in Creole or this. And
Thank
I
you.
have the time. You're welcome.
Judy, no. Okay, my body loving shit. Sorry. Okay. Ok, ma rajoute sur WhatsApp là pour capable ma bon rappeler en anglais ou pour nous écrire mais ma montre. So they're filling out orders. The church, they fill out orders up to 7 days that they want, 6 to 17 that they want, and then next week the church tries to satisfy that. So like things like diapers, wife, clothes, whatever they need for baby. So sad. Yo en créole, mais écrit en anglais pour eux parce que c'est un monde parle anglais qui peut parler comme on veut.
Est-ce qu'on pense au cas de faire inscription?
Oh, en septembre? C'est une bonne question, oui. Par contre, c'est en octobre. Yeah. Moi, c'est non? Une question semaine prochaine, dans le bon. Hein? En octobre, je t'ai dit.
Et le mot pour nous, madame.
Bonsoir. We're going to go to the link sur groupe WhatsApp là. Do you mind if I pray for you? Okay. Ma prière pour nous finir. Seigneur, merci pour Josia, merci pour chaque homme qui est là, merci pour chaque bébé, pour chaque maman, pour chaque papa. Nous sommes capables d'aider nous et rencontrer avec nous, côté nous qui ont un stress pour nous bailler tout problème et mettez-nous dans la vie nous pour aider nous au nom de Jésus. Amen. Thank you so much. So,
and then everyone can
okay with okay, that's a good idea. Et dis-moi ça que mon qui est ok pour sur online, pour sur WhatsApp, sur which social media outlet?
Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, Instagram and Facebook. You go Instagram and Facebook page. Si nous, ok pour nous la photo, nous camper là la photo de groupe. Mais mon qui pas ok, c'est pas une obligation tout. Ok, par contre c'est 2 fois par une obligation. Mais mon qui ok pour faire photo là, la photo en groupe.
Yeah, and if you want to see it, like and follow, scan.
Il dit si nous voulons like ou bien suivre sur Instagram avec Instagram et Facebook ou la scan. Et manger tout, nous.
Madame Florence, nous avons notre feuille, s'il vous plaît.
Pas un problème. Envie. Okay. Moun yo ki nou vwa, ma vazite nou sou WhatsApp la, si nou vle. Moun yo maman, oui? Si mpa jwenye. Nou an si an kreole anglais. Se mwen ça c'est là. Par exemple, si vous avez une notion pour bébé, mais c'est en anglais pour l'écrit. Donc, il va pas besoin pour ben baby, vous comprenez? Et si mon je dis que si semaines avant date, vous avez accouché, il a commencé à commander vous comprenez? Pas besoin de bailler rouge, pas besoin de couper. Mais on va mettre, par exemple, commencer à mettre des diapers à côté, diapers pour bébé. Alors, il y a 8 mois comme ça, 6 semaines avant d'accoucher, commencer comme ça, mais avant ça, c'est 6. Ok. Si nous ouvrons sur WhatsApp, là, nous allons ajouter cette machine avec QR code. Ok. Hein? Mais c'est ça qui est à gauche là. Oui, si vous voyez 8-9 mois, enceinte, c'est ça qui là. Là, c'est le moment où on va la coucher. Ok, ça. Vous mettez en ligne. Ok. Pour le téléphone, on fait scan ça. Sur WhatsApp. Okay.
Where was it?
Yeah, I would say agitation. Hi, boo boo. Oh. Okay. Okay, nouveau contact. Okay. Nouveau groupe. Est-ce que okay, okay. Yeah, mais c'est pas moi-même, c'est eux. Yeah, mais c'est pas trop fait. Ok. You do she's like, if you start crying, is that negative?
No, it's actually positive because crying helps release some of the pressures of stress mentally and emotionally.
Et dis moi ça crier son bagage positif lié parce que il aide à retirer stress là encore là, il aide au process émotion yo absorti dans corps.
And that's a good question, and I say that because we're made to express our emotions.
Il dit comme ça, nous faisons pour express émotion nous. C'est pour mettre émotion dehors, mais nous pas bon monde, you know, à cause des émotions.
When we hold our emotions in, it affects our body, and so sometimes people get ulcers. You know, sometimes it turns into cancer. You know.
Il dit en plus fois, là on pas mettre émotion dehors. Il fait corps d'une malade. C'est ça, mon collègue cancer qui vient développer à cause de ça. Il y a qui a ulcère à cause de ça parce que il pas mettre émotion dehors.
So cry, let it all out.
Il dit comme ça, mettez pas là dehors.
Let it all out. Let it all out. So now let's talk about what are some positive and healthy ways people may respond to stress?
Okay, dis-moi ça que qui façon nous ka répondre à stress non pas façon positive. Première, dis-moi ça que chercher plus d'informations sur situation. Vous comprenez? Positivement, rechercher plus d'informations. Parler de situation avec un ami ou bien un monde que ou gain confiance dans lui. Ah, n'importe où, non? Nous gain confiance dans lui. Font bagay qui caille do relax. Par exemple, ou caille bien, ou caille font un petit marché. Ou bien ou caille écrit tout, ou caille écrit de qu'ils ont senti. Même si pas vous parler avec ou caille écrit, écrit rien ou tirer dans tête ou mettre sur She's like, how about when you have somebody who's talking to themselves? Is that positive or are they crazy?
You know what? My rule is that you can talk to yourself and you can respond to yourself. It's like.
Et tu penses que oui, on met pas la tête pour parler avec, on met pas la tête, ça va faire du fou, mais on met pas la tête, c'est la vie qui fait ça.
Alrighty. So in summary, and I'll read just this one and then you can skim, and then there's one more you can skim and finish.
Okay.
Sometimes people react to stress differently by what? Becoming angry or upset or blaming someone else.
Ok, tu penses que les gens se fâché, ils commencent là, ils blâment c'est un tel qui la cause, c'est un tel qui la cause.
Or they may feel so overwhelmed that they avoid the stressful situation.
Ou bien ils font comme si rien pas passé, comme si le problème n'a pas là.
These are negative and unhealthy things to do.
Et tu penses que ça, c'est pas pareil qui vont nous faire.
And why is because the stress can wind up adding to the pressure the person is feeling and cause more problems over time.
Il dit que ça si nous ignorons stress, il y a de monter plus en plus.
So, like we said, go ahead and cry. And then sometimes stress may push or motivate people to take action and handle a situation that causes more stress in a sense.
Okay? Il dit comme ça que bien le stress là vient pour réagir, après ça vient plus stress à cause de façon de réagir.
It's always recommended that you get more information about a situation, that you look for alternatives, and once more, pray. Pray to God.
E di yon sa ke toujou chèche l'autre façon, chèche plus d'informasyon sur un problème ka bo stress, et pou priye tout, priye à mon Dieu.
Also, sometimes it's good to maybe, if you're having a heated conversation with someone, it's okay to maybe take some space, some time to come back to it at when you're not as angry.
E di yon sa ke si ke ou jwe ansan avè komon se, jwe a goj la lekon nan situasyon, lò vin plus kalman ou a tourne ou a pale avè. Men avan sa pa kontine a brele pa prezidant.
All right. So we're going to stop here for today. I wanted to get into much more, but hey, we're nearing the end of our time together, so we will do this again when I come back out.
Thank you. Dis-moi ça que li couper li en bout, mais il veut qualité, il veut tourner la continuer ensemble avec nous, plus sur bagage positif que nous qu'a fait, là nous gain stress.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to translate it over the PowerPoint. I'll translate, and I'll just be able to print something out and have it long.
Okay. Il dit comme ça que la PC fait un monde ranger sans créole pour lui, pour nous garder en créole dans mais nous pour la parler. Et moi ma ben nous.
I'll do that next time.
Yeah.
It was like either do the handout in Creole or this. And
Thank
I
you.
didn't have the time. You're welcome.
Julina. Okay, my body loving shit. Sorry. Okay. Ok, ma ajoute sur WhatsApp là pour capable ma bon parler en anglais ou pour nous écrire mais ma montre. So they're filling out orders. The church, they fill out orders up to 7 days that they want, 6 to 7 things that they want, and then next week the church tries to satisfy that. So like things like diapers, wife, clothes, whatever they need for baby. So sad. You want Creole? Mais écrire en anglais pour eux parce que c'est mon qui parle anglais qui peut parler comme pour nous.
Est-ce qu'on pense à tout faire inscription?
Oh, en septembre? That's une bonne question, oui. La première, c'est en octobre. Yeah. Monsieur, non? Une question l'année prochaine, t'as compris, hein? En octobre, il était dit.
Et le mot pour nous,
Bonsoir. They're going to go to the sur groupe WhatsApp là. Do you mind if I pray for you? Okay. Ma prière pour nous finir. Seigneur, merci pour aujourd'hui, merci pour chaque monde qui est là, merci pour chaque bébé, pour chaque maman, pour chaque papa. Nous sommes capables d'aider nous et rencontrer avec nous, côté nous car un stress pour nous bailler tout problème et mettez-nous dans la vie pour aider nous au nom de Jésus. Amen. Thank you so much. So
And then everyone can
Okay, that's a good idea. E di moun sa ke moun ki yo ke pou yo sou online, pou yo sou WhatsApp, sou yo which social media outlet?
Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, Instagram ak Facebook. You go Instagram ak on Facebook page. Si nou, ok pou nou na foto a, nou ka kampe la la fon foto de group. Men moun ki pa ok, se pa gen obligasyon tou. Ok, pa pense deux fois pa gen obligasyon. Men moun ki ok pou yo fè foto a, na fon foto an pou.
Yeah. And if you want to see it, like and follow, scan.
E di, si nou vle like ou bien suiv li sou Instagram avec Instagram et Facebook ou pas scan. Et manger tout, comme nous.
Madame Florence, nous avons l'autre feuille, s'il vous plaît.
Pas un problème.
Envie.
Okay. Moun yo ki nou vwa, ma va ajoute nou sou WhatsApp la, oui, si nou vle. Lis plastik yo, pou mwen s'il vous plaît.
Ouais, écrit les en anglais.
Sa san anglais ye net. Te mwen, si m'kadre yon. Nou mwen lis ki an kreole anglais. Te mwen, ça c'est là, par exemple, si vous avez une notion pour deviner, mais c'est en anglais pour l'écrit, puis capable de besoin, pour bien baby, vous comprenez? Et si mon le si 6 semaines avant date, vous avez accouché, il a commencé à commander par vous comprenez? Pas besoin d'occuper un rouge, pas besoin d'occuper. Mais on va mettre, par exemple, commencer à mettre des diapers à côté, diapers pour bébé. So, là, on a 8 mois comme ça, 6 semaines avant d'accoucher, on commence comme ça, mais avant ça, c'est 6. Ok. Si nous voulons sur WhatsApp, là, nous allons ajouter cette machine avec QR code. Ok. Hein? Mais c'est ça qui est à gauche là. Oui, si vous voulez 8, 9 mois, enceinte, c'est ça qui là. Là, c'est le moment où la couche va la coucher. Ok, ça. Vous mettez ton livre. Ok. Vous le téléphone ou le scan ça? Sur WhatsApp.
Where was it?
Yeah, ajouter Hi, boo boo. Oh. Ok. Ok, nouveau contact. Ok. Nouveau groupe. Est-ce que... Oh, my feet. Yeah, mais c'est pas moi-même, c'est un yeah, mais c'est pas okay. You know, she's like, if you start crying, is that negative?
No, it's actually positive because crying helps release some of the pressures of stress mentally and emotionally.
Et dis-moi ça crier son bagage positif lié parce que il est de retirer le stress là encore là, il est de process émotion yo absorti dans corps.
And that's a good question, and I say that because we're made to express our emotions.
Il dit comme ça nous fait pour express émotion nous, c'est pour mettre émotion dehors mais nous pas bon monde you know
when we hold our emotions in, it affects our body. And so sometimes people get ulcers, you know, sometimes it turns into cancer, you know.
Il dit en plus fois, là on pas mettre émotion dehors, il fait corps une malade. C'est ça, mon cancer qui vient développer à cause de ça, il y a qui gagne ulcère à cause de ça parce que il pas mettre émotion dehors.
So cry, let it all out.
Il dit comme ça, mettez là dehors.
Let it all out, let it all out. So now let's talk about what are some positive and healthy ways people may respond to stress.
Ok, c'est comme ça que qui passe nous répondre à stress non pas façon positive. Première, dit comme ça que chercher plus d'informations sur la situation. Vous comprenez? Positivement, rechercher plus d'informations. Parler de situation avec un ami ou bien un monde que vous avez confiance dans lui. Pas n'importe où, non? Vous avez confiance dans lui. Font bagay qui aide relax. Par exemple, vous avez bien, vous avez fait un petit marché. Ou bien vous avez écrit tout. Vous avez écrit de qu'ils ont senti. Même si vous ne parlez pas avec vous, vous avez écrit. Écrit ou retirer dans la tête ou mettez sur She's like, how about when you have somebody who's talking to themselves? Is that positive or are they crazy?
You know what? My rule is that you can talk to yourself and you can respond to yourself. It's like.
Et tu sais que oui, on ne met pas la tête ou pour un monde pour parler l'autre pas la tête, on met pas la tête tout. Ça c'est tout fou. Mais on met pas la tête tout, c'est la vie qui fait ça.
Alrighty. So in summary, and I'll read just this one and then you can skim, and then there's one more you can skim and finish.
Okay.
Sometimes people react to stress differently by what? Becoming angry or upset or blaming someone else.
Ok, c'est comme ça que les gens se fâché, ils commencent là, ils blâment c'est un tel qui la cause, c'est un tel qui la cause.
Or they may feel so overwhelmed that they avoid the stressful situation.
Ou bien ils font comme si rien pas passé, comme si le problème n'a pas là.
These are negative and unhealthy things to do.
Et c'est comme ça que ça, c'est pas pareil qui vont nous faire les.
And why is because the stress can wind up adding to the pressure the person is feeling and cause more problems over time.
Il dit que ça si nous ignorons stress, il y a vite monter plus en plus.
So, like we said, go ahead and cry. And then sometimes stress may push or motivate people to take action to handle a situation that causes more stress in a sense.
Okay? Il dit comme ça que le stress là vient pour réagir, après ça vient plus stress à cause de la façon de réagir.
It's always recommended that you get more information about a situation, that you look for alternatives, and once more, pray to God.
Il dit comme ça que toujours chercher l'autre façon, chercher plus d'informations sur un problème qui a stress et pour prier tout, prier à mon Dieu.
Also, sometimes it's good to maybe, if you're having a heated conversation with someone, it's okay to maybe take some space, some time to come back to it when you're not as angry.
Il dit comme ça que si que ou jouer ensemble avec comme on dit, jouer à gauche là comme dans situation là où vit plus calmement ou à tourner ou à parler avec. Mais avant ça pas continuer à brûler pas résoudre.
All right. So we're going to stop here for today. I wanted to get into much more, but hey, we're nearing the end of our time together, so we will do this again when I come back out.
Thank you. Dis-moi ça que il coupe en bout, mais il veut qualité, il veut tourner, la continuer ensemble avec nous, plus sur bagage positif que nous avons fait, là nous avons stress.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to translate it over in PowerPoint. I'll translate, and I'll just be able to print something out and have it on.
Okay. Il dit comme ça que la BC fait un mot pour ranger ça en créole pour lui, pour nous garder en créole dans mais nous pour nous parler. Et moi ma belle nous
I'll do that next time.
Yeah.
It was like either do the handout in Creole or this. And
Thank
I
you.
have the time. You're welcome.
Judy, no. Okay, my body laughing. Sorry. Okay. Ok, ma rajoute sur WhatsApp là pour capable ma bon papier en anglais que vous nous écrivez mais ma montre. So they're filling out orders. The church, they fill out orders up to 7 days that they want, 6 to 17 that they want, and then next week the church tries to satisfy that. So like it's like diapers, wife, clothes, whatever they need for baby. So sad. Yo en créole, même écrit en anglais pour eux parce que c'est mon parle anglais qui prépare comment on dit pour nous.
Est-ce qu'on pense qu'on va faire inscription?
Oh, en septembre? That's une bonne question, oui. Ça commencer en octobre. Yeah. Monsieur, non? Une question semaine prochaine, t'as compris quoi? Hein? En octobre, je t'ai dit. Bonsoir. We're going to go to the sur groupe WhatsApp là. you mind if I pray for you? Okay. Prière pour nous finir. Seigneur, merci pour aujourd'hui, merci pour chaque monde qui est là, merci pour chaque bébé, pour chaque maman, pour chaque papa. Nous apprenons pour capable aider nous et rencontrer avec nous, côté nous qui ont un stress pour nous bailler tout problème et mettez-nous dans la vie pour aider nous au nom de Jésus. Amen. Thank you so much. So we can do a photo and then everyone can. Is that okay with us? Okay, that's a good idea. Et dit comme ça que mon qui est ok pour yo sur online, pour yo sur WhatsApp, sur which social media outlet?
Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, Instagram and Facebook. You go Instagram and Facebook page. Si nous, ok pour nous la photo, nous quand fait là la photo de groupe, mais mon qui pas ok, c'est pas une obligation tout. Ok, par contre c'est 2 fois par une obligation. Mais mon qui ok pour faire photo là, n'a pas photo en groupe.
Yeah, and if you want to see it, like and follow, scan.
Et puis si nous voulons like ou bien suivre sur Instagram avec Instagram et Facebook ou la scan. Et manger tout, nous.
Madame France, vous avez besoin d'autres feuilles, s'il vous plaît.
Pas un problème. Envie. Okay. Moun yo ki nou vo a ajoute nou sur WhatsApp là, oui, si nous voulez. Liste plastique, moi s'il vous plaît. Ouais, écrit en anglais. Ça, c'est en anglais, il est net. Que moi, c'est une cadre. Nous, on est ici en créole et anglais. Que moi, ça, c'est là. Par exemple, si vous avez une notion pour bébé, mais c'est en anglais pour l'écrit. Donc, il y aura pas besoin pour bébé, vous comprenez? Et si vous avez si 6 semaines avant date, vous avez à commencer à commander vous comprenez? Quand il n'a pas besoin d'occuper un rouge, pas besoin d'occuper. Mais on va mettre, par exemple, commencer à mettre des diapers à côté, diapers pour bébé. So, là, il y a 8 mois comme ça, 6 semaines avant d'accoucher, vous commencez comme ça, mais avant ça, c'est 6. Ok. Si nous voulons sur WhatsApp, là, nous allons ajouter cette machine avec QR code. Ok. Hein? Là, c'était le moment pour la coucher. Ok. Donc, vous mettez ton livre. Ok. Vous pouvez téléphoner ou qu'est-ce qu'il y a ça? Sur WhatsApp. Okay.
Where was it?
Yeah, I would say ajouter sur Hi, boo boo. Oh. Okay. Okay, nouveau contact. Okay. Nouveau groupe. Est-ce que okay, oh, my feet. Yeah, mais c'est pas moi-même, c'est yeah, mais c'est pas protéger. Ok. Là, laisse aller. En bas tout. Yeah, that's good. Okay. They're going in on this one, so we're having some fun.
Good stuff, good stuff.
I love that because it's a good process. And people, especially with trauma, you can't process.
No. And, you know, for me, I want them to finish it at home. It's like writing in a journal.
Il dit comme ça que il dit nous faire une seule situation, mais là nous la caille nous faire l'autre situation, nous regarder Ok, ki jan pou repon a tel situasyon jan pozitif e ki jan pou te ka repon yon jan negatif. Peut-être nou ka komanse chwazi pozitif ou lieu de negatif.
Ready?
Ok, eske nou pare?
All right. So let's
sitting here all alone, no one to pick up the phone, and it's just me, just me. The problem that I have to face is staring me in the face, and it's just me, just me. No longer will I try to hide the demons that I've locked inside, for they're wearing me down, way down. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. I need you to catch me, 'cause I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm falling and I can't get up. Falling and I can't get up. I'm staring in outer space. I'm lost without a trace, and there's nowhere to run or hide. No longer will I fear. I'm finally facing my fears, 'cause I'm all straight out and cried out. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Why don't you catch me? 'Cause I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm falling and I can't get up. I'm falling and I can't get up. 'cause I'm falling and I can't get up. 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 Knock and it shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Call his name, Jesus. Sing it now. Knock and it shall be open. Seek and you shall find. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Knock and it shall be
I made many mistakes and I'm still trying to find my way. Yeah, now I done did my whole thing and done made a mess of things. But through it all, you still standing there. I see you really care, you still standing there. Though I heard you call my name, but I still think that I got time. Brought me from a long way, but there's issues in my mind. Oh, here we go again, on the same road again. Oh Lord, please step in. I shouldn't be running when you save me for what I'm running from. Sometimes I'm scared that I'm not worthy of your love. Lord, here's my issues, I'll step aside. Do what you do, just know that I'm right beside you. See my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, answer when I call. Been there through it all, you for real love me. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, answer when I call. Been there through it all, you for real love me. You thought enough for me to save my life, that you knew that I couldn't repay the price. You stood by and watched me live my best life. And now I'm here because I've surrendered my life. I'll tell everyone I know to call your name. But when you show up, you come to bring about a change. That feeling you get when you call on your name. Somebody call your name. Jesus. I know I failed so many tests, but I'm here now, giving you my best. Redeem the time, take care of the rest. It's nobody but you. If it had not been for you, oh Lord. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, answer when I call. Been there through it all, you for real love me. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, answer when I call. Been there through it all, you for real love me. You for real love me. I don't need nobody else, no one can love me still. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real. They catch me when I fall, answer when I call. Been there through it all, you for real love me. You see my issues, but you still love me still. And when I'm guilty in my living, your words are real.
Girl, come on over here, sit down by me.
For what?
Girl, you know Prophet Malachi? Yeah, girl, I heard some stuff. Girl, you ain't call me back.
Attention, service is the order.
Who is there? Girl, shut up.
Anybody have
Service
a
at stop.
I do, Pastor.
Oh, come on and testify, brother. Testify, prophet.
I know
Praise the
Malachi
Lord.
now.
Before I get started, I want to say that this ain't for.
What?
It's sake for the church folks that's deep. Forgive me. We all got a process. Pray for me.
I know he ain't.
Never forget where you used to be. Musicians, you got it. If it was for God, there goes
I
me.
know he ain't gonna sing that
Sake
song.
for the church folks that's deep.
Sit him down, Pastor.
Y'all got a process. Pray for me.
What?
Never forget where you used to be. If it was for God, there
I
goes
know he ain't gonna sing that song.
but God. If it wasn't for God, that could be me.
He got a point. He got a point.
But God, if it wasn't for God, there goes me. This is for the one that's on the corner, trying to live a life that he don't wanna. Feel like they took him down another way, and you know that it's choices that he don't wanna make. But what would you do when there's no food to eat? You watch your mother struggle just to provide to me. If God really loved him, will he leave him there? There was nights that he cried, but do you really care? Or can we take a look at it another way? He let you live just to see another day. So come unto him, he'll take your burdens away. Give it to him, he'll show you a different way. This ain't for the church folks, that's deep.
What?
We all got a process, pray for me.
I know he ain't.
Never forget where you used to be. If it was for God, there goes me.
I know he ain't gonna sing that
this
song.
This ain't for the church folks, that's deep. We all got a process, pray for me. Never forget where you used to be. If it wasn't for God, there goes me. But God, if it wasn't for God, that could be me. But God, if it wasn't for God, there goes me. See, there was a girl that worked the streets. She was looking for someone to provide her needs. Abandoned soul at a young age. She was waiting for the day to be a kid again. See, she had dreams, but she was in too deep. Misplaced affection caused her to take her leaps. See, here is the drugs, I swear she's finding her love. It loves all the pain, but she is praying for change. But can we take a look at this another way? He's protected her from so many other things. But first you gotta choose to let God do what he do. He's waiting on you just to make you brand new. Go. This ain't for the church folks, that's deep. We all got a process, pray for me. Never forget where you used to be. If it wasn't for God, there goes
he ain't gonna sing that song.
This ain't for the church folks, that's deep. We all got a process, pray for me. Never forget where you used to be. If it wasn't for God, there goes me.
Thank you, thank you.
But God, if it wasn't for God, that could be me.
You know, I can't believe Pastor.
But God,
What you complaining
No,
about
let him
now?
sing that song.
God, there goes me.
You know, he got a point. Got a point. We all come from somewhere.
Yes, we do.
But he ain't have to come in here and say it.
Girl, shut
God, Pastor Prophet Malachi. So opinion. Come on, little man. Time to go.
Why I always got to go with you? I don't want to go.
Don't leave me on this road alone. Huh. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. This road seems like I'm on, has no end. Seems like I'm falling, little I failed again. You told me to go left, I chose to go right. I was at the crossroads in my life. I know I should trust you in all things, because you have carried me through all things. Faith is not where it should be. My heart just takes over me, and I keep fighting what you're spoken over me. Please stop the rain from falling, so I can see clearly my calling. I know that I'll have my days and maybe even my ways, but don't leave me on this road alone, alone. Don't leave me on this road alone. Huh. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me. Did my chances in my life, Lord, pass me by? In my disobedience, did I forfeit my rights? I'm calling you Savior. I need you here, it's major. I'm here all alone, nobody but me. I brought my peace this evening, what I don't want you to see. My lowest parts, my broken heart, the tears that stay. When all else fails, only you remain. Don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me on this road alone. Lord, cover me, cover me. Lord, cover me, cover me. Lord, don't leave me on this road alone. Cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Please don't leave me on this road alone. Lord, cover me, cover me, cover me, cover me. Don't leave me how you found me. Don't leave me like this, Lord. Cover me, Lord, cover me.